Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Hello, and welcome back to Gossip at the Corpse Cart. I am Lucy, and that's Amanda from Wine and Crime.
That's us.
This is where we just talk about your darkest confessions and some funny shit that we've seen in the news, that you've seen in the news and sent to us. And I personally have a very grotesque segment today. I am so excited to get to it. But first, we have a very special guest this month.
Mm-hmm.
So please welcome Matt OBrien.
Comedian extraordinaire.
He's
Matt
funny.
OBrien.
Oh. Thank God you said that comedian part.
Oh,
People are
welcome.
like, who the fuck is Matt OBrien?
Yeah,
well,
just some guy.
Our listeners should know who the fuck Matt OBrien is because I won't say stole because we credited you.
Yeah.
But we posted one of your memes, one of your memeable, tweetable moments.
Oh, am I a meme maker? I didn't know I was a meme maker.
You're a
The fuck you
content
didn't
maker.
know you were a meme maker. I've been all over your threads. You are such a meme maker.
It sounds so gross when you say it that way. I try to post funny things. And then when it gets popular, it becomes a meme for some reason. Like that's
I love it.
Anyway, thank
Yeah.
you.
I love it. But yeah, the specific memeable moment of yours that we stole was your Ned Flanders. Me after 14 Aperol spritzes listening to an Italian tour guide talk about a street named after a guy that invented a style of belt.
But that was us in Italy a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
So
me too.
when
Talking about belts.
yeah.
and
We did talk a
kinda
lot about
buzzed.
belts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Off of Aperol spritzes.
My wife and I were walking next to the Coliseum, and some guy was talking about where all the gladiators slept and stuff. And I'm just like so drunk. And I'm like, that was where they did it? That's interesting.
When were you outside of the Coliseum? What date?
Oh, I don't know.
Was it maybe November 7th?
No, it was September. It was in September.
I thought maybe by some miracle we were outside of the Coliseum, drunk, not understanding a goddamn
Can you
thing at
imagine
the
we
same
passed
time.
each other? Yeah. Like, what's this guy talking about? I was like, she knows what's going on.
I know exactly what's going on.
That was a very sobering tour because our guide was like, they've slaughtered tens of thousands of exotic animals in these walls.
And people.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of thousands of people. Like so many people died there. And we're just like, wow, it's actually pretty well preserved.
I learned a horrifying fact after we visited the Coliseum about the Coliseum. So do you remember they said that they had built a retractable roof to go over it? First of all,
This was the first Metrodome, so I want to claim this as a Minneapolis resident. Thank you. Thank you.
the engineering behind the fucking retractable dome is incredible, but also the cloth that they used for like the fabric up there was red.
Oh.
Ew.
So when the sun came through, the whole place was just fucking red.
Oh.
Isn't that gross?
That's not as, I thought you were going to say it was like skin. It was made of skin. So I was like, that
That
would
have
be
been better.
The
very
flesh
on
of fallen
trend.
gladiators.
That would have been a lot better.
You get made into
Fun
an
fact.
umbrella.
That is what the Metrodome roof was made out of. And
Yes.
it couldn't hold up to the snow in the end. So just rethink the use of human skin in large-scale dometry.
We're still learning as people every day.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day we are still learning.
We gotta
But yeah.
find multiple uses for skin, people.
Yeah.
Matt does the comedy. I actually was looking at your IMDb and I had a question for you.
How have you made 3 movies?
Well, I want to know what your process was for getting into your Odd Squad character, man with fridge problems.
Oh, man. Well, I'm so glad you asked.
Thank you.
It took months. Also, I am this man, which made the audition very easy to do. I've
method
never had
actor.
a perfectly working fridge, so it just
Never.
it just kind of worked. I thought you were going to ask about the Population Zero credits because that's
Tell us about that.
I played a dead body.
What? That's our dream.
I have so
Yes.
many questions. How do you
Here's-
not breathe for that long?
I can't wait to tell you about this.
Ah!
So basically what Population Zero is, it's like a fake documentary. So when I booked it, I couldn't tell anyone because they wanted it to look real. about this guy that was murdered in Yellowstone Park, and the laws are weird out there.
They sure are.
Yeah, you probably
We've done
know
a
about
national
this.
park crimes episode. Those places are buck.
Well, this whole movie's about that. And so I booked it, wasn't able to tell anyone, and the whole movie revolves around my murder. So I'm getting murdered in it. And so we had to do all this footage of me in the woods with a gunshot wound that I had, like, obviously prosthetically put in. And I had to lay there in a light rain with my eyes open. And I kept blinking, and the director's like, "Can you stop
You're fucking fired.
blinking?"
You
like,
blink again.
and I
Get off my
It's involuntary, dude.
I know. I had to say, I'm like, how do you not blink when water is going in your eyes? And he's like, just try. We booked you for a reason. I was like, because
Just act. Sorry,
thought you
sir,
had-
I'm a human man with
Yeah.
human eyes.
We thought you had greater control over your eyelids.
yeah,
This
exactly.
is like your Laura Palmer Twin Peaks moment. This is fucking awesome. So wait, is this out? Why is this
It's
not?
been out for years. It's been
What
out
the
for
fuck?
years.
This
Yeah.
is not top billed on your IMDb. I'm very upset about this.
Here's another thing about
Population
this.
zero.
Population zero. So I didn't really tell anyone about it because I wasn't allowed. And cut to a couple months ago, my mom is just watching random crime documentaries. She starts watching
And you're a
this,
corpse.
and it's about her son being murdered. And she yells at my sister. She's like, "What the hell is happening?"
I would think I was having a fucking mental episode if
Yeah.
that
Okay.
happened.
Are either of you familiar with Cassandra Bowman on TikTok?
No.
think so.
Okay, so it's this young queer male presenting person. I am not sure what their pronouns actually are, but Cassandra Bowman is their character, and they're paid. It's kind of like Cameo backwards. Like this I would do because this is hilarious. They're paid to make prank phone calls to people's like friends and loved ones. And that sounds like a Cassandra Bowman call where she calls and it's
Totally.
just like calls your mom and it's like, "I'm gonna need you to turn on channel 5 because
oh my God. There's something
you know,
you need to see.
there's something you need to see," and then your mom just like falls apart. That might be a little too mean for Cassandra Bowman, but she does some fucking wild shit. Lucy, I will send you some because
Please
this
do.
is right up your alley. You would fucking love it.
I can't believe
Well,
you were a dead body. I'm so
Yeah,
jealous.
it's like been my dream. All let's be honest, all of our collective dream to be a dead body on like one episode of Law and Order.
Yeah, me too.
So you got to do it for a whole TV series.
a whole movie. It was a movie.
It's
it
a
was
movie,
a full
okay.
friggin' thing. And we had to film like behind the scenes like wedding footage, like I'm getting married and all this other stuff. So it's like a full like
God.
thing. It's crazy.
Okay, you can get it. You can stream it on Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Tubi. I'm in a Tubi documentary.
Are you?
We're both Tubi stars. Mine was real though. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry,
I've
no.
never been in a movie.
I didn't actually die in
You're
my thing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you should go. We picked the wrong guest. All right, I'm totally gonna watch this. This is awesome.
But it's been
I
ruined
love
for a
that.
lot of like friends of mine. They're like, "Oh, this seems really interesting. I can't wait to watch this." And then my face shows up, and
They're like,
"Oh, all
"Fuck,
right."
real?" So were you?
Fucking
Did you have
Matt.
to play the dead guy like straight, or could you infuse your comedy talents into this role?
I think I was smiling while I was dead. Actually, I think I was
Okay.
like,
Oh,
you know,
wow.
I was like,
Wow,
That was it. That
Like-
was it.
I get why you were booked. That
Yeah.
dead face was pretty good.
you know?
It's funny while also like reminiscent of The Ring with
Yeah.
like, the open mouth.
The movie Smile. Oh, I just
Yep.
did this.
Yeah. Because I wanted to show that maybe, yeah, I did die. I was killed, but I was having a good time. I was camping with my friends. Yeah.
You died doing what you love.
Camping and being soaking wet in the face.
In the eyes.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't want to
My eyes
die
are wet.
camping or soaking wet, unless. I mean, I do love a good bath. But
Yeah.
anyway, that's getting too dark for me. I am too depressed for that conversation. So we're so happy that you're here. We can't wait for you to read some, I guarantee, unhinged Coven Confessions. We haven't heard them. Our amazing producer, Andrea, pulls them for the guests specifically so that we can all experience them in real time together and unpack how fucked up our listeners are.
Lots
Because
of
y'all
poop.
are truly fucked.
A lot of
Buckle up
poop.
for some poop,
Great.
I'm
I
sure.
can't wait.
So much poop.
That's my wheelhouse.
Fecal matter.
Yes.
We also want to point out for anyone who is not seeing video that Matt is wearing a Costco sweatshirt.
That's
So-
right.
Which
Fucking
as
jealous.
Minnesotans, the homeland,
Okay.
we love Costco in the Midwest.
Don't even get me started.
Matt,
Oh.
Don't get me started.
I went down a TikTok rabbit hole last night of your videos.
Uh-oh.
Your stand-up moment when you were talking about the one thing you want to do before you die is touch the ceiling at Costco. And then the guy in the audience was like, I've touched the ceiling at Costco.
Crazy.
Mind
Crazy.
blown.
The fuck?
It's the only
How
time that's
is-
ever happened.
And you were like, is it hot?
Yeah, it's got to be warm, right? Heat rises. It's got to be boiling hot up there. It probably feels so nice. Like
You
you're touching
lost your mind. That was
Oh my
I
God.
watched it 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
I showed it to my husband.
I love that.
It was crazy because he had the full story. He was like, it was after hours. The manager's like, hey, do you guys want to touch the ceiling? It's like,
I had
who
a cool
says
manager.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys want to touch the ceiling?
He's trying to kill you. Like I'd be like, this guy's gonna push me off the forklift or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like your agent is blowing it if you have not been set up with any opportunity to touch the ceiling at Costco. Like that can't be that
Who's your
hard.
representation?
Thank you for
Yeah.
assuming I have rep. That's very nice.
I mean, girl, same.
Hold on, let me get my agent on the line. Yeah, we'll book him for that
Your
immediately.
cat walks in.
I gotta go. I got a conference call with 2 other cats.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's more accurate than you could possibly know. Yeah, I also loved when you won $1,500 in Vegas and they were like, what are you going to do with the money? And you're like, I'm buying a Dyson.
Yeah.
Man, I did.
That
it was so nice.
relatable.
Yeah.
The biggest item I had on my wedding registry and the only group gift was my Dyson.
Yeah.
I've got 2 cats and a fucking bunny rabbit, the hairs and a head of hair. And my husband also has like long flowing curly mermaid hair.
There's hair all around you.
My house is a nest made of hair.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like a rat hair nest.
God.
And so that it truly it's a banger of a vacuum. Which one do you have?
What is it? The V7, I think?
Yeah, that
That's the
wireless one.
Oh, yeah. I'm sick
Yeah.
of wires.
The
Can't do wires
cordless.
anymore.
Mhm.
Cordless.
Never again.
Never, ever again.
And Dyson, the batteries charge up real nice. And if there's something wrong with it, they'll send you a new one.
Oh,
Yup.
I'm well aware. I have done it. I clean
have
the
a-
filter. I treat that thing like an old man treats a Corvette. I put a cover over it at night. Like I
You
love
tuck it
this
in.
thing. Yeah, I'm like good night, kissing on its little handle.
So welcome Matt O'Brien, who has sex with his Dyson.
This guy fucked a vacuum and he's ready to talk about it.
Well, if you
that's-
fucked it, would it suck you?
Oh,
Also, I
Okay.
have a Dyson hack, and I feel like I can say it even though it was against the rules at the time because Bed Bath & Beyond is fucking closed.
Oh,
You know those
okay.
20
Wow, this is a lot to
Oh, yeah.
unpack.
They're
There's
like
a lot
done.
here.
You know those 20% off coupons, 20% off one item?
yeah.
It says in the fine print that it does not apply to Dysons specifically. So I brought my coupon and I went to the youngest, stupidest looking register person
Yes,
and I got 20% off of my Dyson vacuum.
Amazing.
that's
And I like sprinted out of the store before they could catch me.
Just yelling moron, moron.
I got you good, fucker.
No
Running
wonder
away
they
with
went
their Dyson.
bankrupt.
Oh my god, that's the best way to do any kind of customer service is find the youngest, stupidest idiot that doesn't want to be there and be like, give me something.
Just doesn't give a shit
They
if
don't
the
care.
place burned down with them in it.
Oh, let me tell you something. In my years of customer service, I was that idiot.
Same.
You want it comped? All right. I don't want to deal with you anymore.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is the best of both worlds for both of us. I don't give a fuck about this job. All right, but things that we do give a fuck about. We've got some crazy headlines to kick off this episode today, and y'all showed up this fall with what you sent me. I don't have a running theme, but we do have some fun animal news, some really solid Wisconsin reporting, and then our most submitted headline of the month. So I'm going to start with something from the Vancouver Sun. And Lucy, I kind of pulled this for you because I just find it bizarre and delightful. And it's got like,
Like me.
yes, it's animal science.
Yes.
So the Vancouver Sun writes, orcas revive dead salmon hat trend from the 1980s.
Thank God. I've been waiting for this to come back.
I knew it. You've been tracking this trend since the 80s, since birth.
I'm Joan Rivers with this trend.
Yep. Southern resident killer whales always look sharp in their smooth black and white baddie suits, but now they have a new accessory, dead salmon hats. Researchers in Washington have noticed at least one orca balancing salmon on its head in Puget Sound this fall, taking the dead fish for a ride and possibly snacking on the salmon at its leisure.
Oh
a
my
snack
God, you
with
have
a
a picture.
purpose.
You have a
Oh yeah, there's a picture on the drive of a stunning whale, and that is sure as shit a dead salmon plopped right on its head.
Yeah.
How they're keeping it on there, I don't know. I hope the article reveals that for me.
Maybe they're sucking up through their blowhole so it like suctions it to the top of their head.
If that's what this ends up being,
Oh,
I will
that's
lose my
crazy. That's also a testament to how boring the ocean is. That
I think you're the only person who thinks that.
even
the ocean
whales,
is terrifying.
even whales are like, I'm just gonna put a fucking fish in my head. Like, who cares?
And then
Like, what
sink
else can I
this
do?
yacht, sink this billionaire's yacht.
Sink
Like,
a
fuck
yacht.
these guys.
This is just a depressed, nihilistic killer whale.
Just bored. Yeah.
Everything's dust. I'm wearing a dead salmon on my head. Fuck
Yeah,
all y'all.
Sure. Is
I
that equivalent
love
to us
orcas.
walking around with a cheeseburger on our head? Like, is that?
I think this is like us wearing Crocs.
Okay.
I give up.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
I give up.
It's comfortable.
yeah.
Crocs are to humans as the dead salmon hat is to orcas. And let me tell you, I love Crocs. I used to hate them. I resisted them.
They're
Then
back.
I was gifted a single pair, and I was like,
As a
what
joke.
the fuck? This is the most comfortable shoe I've ever worn in my life. I'm gone. I'm all in. Sporting salmon corpse lids isn't exactly new behavior for the southern residents. The phenomenon was first noticed in our year of birth, 1987, not including Matt. I have no idea when you were born.
85. I'm old.
We'll
Edit
allow
that
it.
out.
Yeah, then say your social security number and we'll keep that in, though. Went for that 1 year in 1987 to to celebrate me and Lucy's birth. A female from a pod started wearing a salmon on her head. This is the Regina George of orcas, because within a few weeks,
She's a visionary.
the other endangered pods that they were tracking decided to try the fish hats on as well. It's when they cut the tit holes in Regina George's shirt.
Yeah.
Someone was trying to
yeah.
sabotage this orca, but she was like, bitch, I'm going to fucking slay this dead salmon and you'll see it everywhere. So last month, he's like labeled with a number and then he has a name because they track them all. J27 Blackberry, a 32-year-old male, was photographed exhibiting the same behavior at North Point, Washington, off Whidbey Island in Puget Sound.
So it's not just for girls.
No, this is a genderless trend. Just why the orcas are doing it is a bit of a mystery. Quote, honestly, we have no idea why this started again, why it happens, or why it seems to repeat, said Deborah Giles. She's a researcher and she researches orcas. She said the fish hat fad is likely linked to food availability in a certain place. Giles said there have been healthy salmon runs in this area of Puget Sound where all three of the tracked pods have been spending a lot of time recently feeding on fish. And that's generally been the area where some orcas have been spotted wearing the salmon hats. Andrew Foote, an evolution ecologist at the University of Oslo in Norway, told New Scientist it's possible that
What a
some
fucking last name for an evolutionary.
Andrew Foote. But there's an E on the end, so it's fancy.
Foot.
Foote. Andrew Foote. An evolution ecologist.
Yeah.
That is pretty fucking perfect. He said it's possible that some of the original orcas who took part in the fish hat fad are still around and remember it from before.
Cute.
Oh,
It's
so
generational.
so like they see another whale doing it, and they're like, "Hey, that's my thing."
Yeah, bitch,
That's
I
you.
started that.
I started the fish head. I get
remembered
it.
from my childhood. It makes them feel good. They're reminiscing.
Also, I'm so glad this is a story from Canada too. I'm also
I
Canadian,
know.
so that's nice.
we know.
We did.
Yeah,
We
I'm
fucking know.
Canadian. Do you guys like that?
No, we love that. 'Cause Canadians and Minnesotans have a kindred
We're the
connection.
same. We're the same people.
We're so similar.
Yeah.
We and I know you have also done this, but we did the Just for Laughs festival in Vancouver a couple of years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and our driver was the sweetest man. He was like this rockabilly man with like a cute pompadour.
But he
was in a band.
He had
that
been in a really popular punk band.
Yeah, that now I can't fucking remember the name of, but like he said the name and I was like, holy shit, like I actually like recognize what
I
band that
wanna
is.
know who
Why
this
are you
is.
driving for Just for Laughs? We'll find out. But There was like a lull in conversation in the car
Barely.
for that lasted maybe 15 seconds, and he just goes, "So, you guys like potato chips?"
It's a hot topic up there.
That started telling us
apparently
all the
is.
Canadian potato chip flavors, which we were really excited to try, and they're fucking good.
All dressed is the greatest flavor of all time. It's
Yeah.
insane. They have it down here in some Ralph's, but it's just not the same. The recipe's off.
Y'all also have the ketchup lays, which
I like the
Ugh.
ketchup.
I'm a
Lay's.
ketchup
Best.
hater, but the ketchup lays are really good.
I know.
You also have the best pickle chips up there, like the dill pickle
Oh.
chips. We don't, we don't make them like that down here in the States.
Miss Vicky's. Miss Vicky's makes a nice dill pickle. Miss Vicky's. Have you had Miss Vicky's like kettle chips?
Hell
Oh,
yeah. Hell,
I grew up
yeah.
a couple towns over from Miss Vicky. She's a real person.
What?
I was doing a comedy show in her town, and the whole crowd was like, "Hey, do you want to go see Miss Vicky's house?" I'm like, "Yep, I want to go see it." And we drove by it, and it's like a historical site.
Is she Canadian?
Oh, big time.
Yeah,
Extremely Canadian.
They love their potato chips.
They love our friggin' chips, man.
it's an empire. It's a chip empire.
Yeah.
You guys like potato chips?
It was iconic. It was like, so now if we do have a luller conversation in person, that's like a stim that we have.
Totally.
So Giles told New Scientist that mammal-eating orcas have been seen carrying pieces of food under their pectoral fins, tucked in next to their bodies because salmon are smaller. The southern residents, which are fish eaters, may be using their heads instead for the salmon specifically. So it's like they're carrying it for later.
Yeah.
This is like if they're not going to immediately, maybe they can't immediately eat it because I mean, in this situation, they're like chumming areas because these animals are endangered, and so like all these pods are coming to eat. So it's kind of like a frenzy buffet situation. So they are hypothesizing that these, they could tuck something under the arm for later, but these little guys are like, oh fuck it, I'll just strap it to the roof. That's not going anywhere. You tug the rope twice.
Also, no one's going to steal it. No one's going to steal a fish off a whale's head.
Girl, you're
That's
safe.
Yeah.
That's not going anywhere.
But if they like dive underwater, we're still
how does
not
that
getting a
work?
lot of clarity on how they keep them on there.
Yeah.
Okay, so a statement from the Center for Whale Research last month said research clearly shows that survival rates are closely tied to Chinook salmon abundance, adding that recovery isn't possible without an increase in that prey. So that's why like this specific fish is being used in these areas. And noted that the Salmon Hat phenomenon may show some pods are getting enough to eat now because they're not eating it right away. But they're not getting enough to eat the entire year, both in the United States and Canada, and that's a real cause for concern. But this isn't telling me how they keep it on there. I think we just assume
Maybe the salmon's alive and
balances.
it's holding on and it's having a good time.
Maybe I don't think that salmon's alive.
It's
that
like
girl looks
never-ending
dead as shit.
story, like riding the
Yeah.
dragon
Falcor.
guy.
I don't think, looking at the picture, I actually don't think he's sucking it to stick it to his blowhole. Because I feel like if you zoom in a little, you can kind of see some hole. He's showing hole.
He is showing hole.
He is.
He's showing hole.
Yeah.
And the salmon is sort of like nestled right in front of hole.
Yeah.
I think he's just real careful when he floats away.
Oh God, that's so
Yeah,
cute.
there's no penetration. It's just full rest. Full
Yeah.
rest.
So save the whales and their salmon hats.
Yes.
Okay, this next one, I'm like mad that so many people sent this in because this is my fucking nightmare, but I can't let my feelings, muddy the waters here. Man caught smuggling 320 tarantulas, 110 centipedes, also a bunch of bullet ants. I don't even want to fucking know what that is, out of Peru by strapping them to his body.
I'm Googling bullet ant.
Yeah,
It can't be good.
there's no way.
They sound beefy. They sound like they got a big ass, which
Yeah.
is concerning.
I'm not here for it.
Oh, this
Authorities-
is okay. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead and looking at the pictures because I pictured him taping them all to his body, and then his
Well,
body's
I
just
think-
like writhing around, and he's like, "Oh, everything's fine here."
I think they're in containers, but I don't know if they were put into the containers before he strapped or after he's strapped and they put them in the containers. I don't fucking know.
So
I have no idea.
they actually have small butts, but they have big pinchers. They bite you.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Ew, there's one on a man's face. They're huge.
No. Wait, put a picture on the drive. 'Cause I need to see
this is
it.
so fucking gross.
Oh, no. Stop.
Do you see that blue-eyed man with a huge ant on his nose?
First of all, this man is what Carrot Top would have looked like if he let himself age gracefully.
But he did not.
Second of all, he did not. Carrot Top did not. That is the biggest fucking ant I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
That ant could lift a baby.
Well, they must be rare because they must be valuable because they're
Yeah,
smuggling
they're being smuggled.
them.
Good God.
Yeah.
Also, that guy is one person bumping into him away from like unleashing all these things all over his body.
Oh, yeah.
Like someone could bump
Yeah.
into him at an airport. Everyone's bumping into each other.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So he was arrested at the airport in Peru after his bulging clothes gave him and the hundreds of tarantulas strapped to his body away as he attempted to leave the country with them. They were from Peru. He didn't even make it out of Peru.
How was he going to sit on a fucking airplane?
Baby girl, I don't think this was well thought through.
Also, they clearly don't have 3D scanners at the Peruvian airports because LAX is like you always 3D scan, and that's probably I want to see what that 3D scan looks like, just covered in spiders.
I don't. This doesn't say anything about a 3D scan, so I don't know if you went through one of those machines.
No way.
Security officials at Lima's Jorge Chavez International Airport stopped the alleged smuggler, a 28-year-old South Korean man, on November 8th because his stomach appeared abnormally swollen while he was passing through security.
Kind of square.
Square and also swollen somehow. The man, who was not identified, God bless, was asked to lift his shirt, show the nips, revealing 2 belts that had been adorned with camouflaged bags and packages containing tarantulas and other bugs. Bags and packages. So I think the boxes we're seeing in some of these photos in the article are after they had been removed from this man's body.
Wow.
And then wildlife authorities were actually storing them in proper containers.
Jesus Christ.
Specialists with the government agency later tallied the concealed critters, counting 35 adult. Oh, the headline said 320 tarantulas. Okay, 35 adult tarantulas, 285 juvenile tarantulas.
No!
Well, that's not so bad.
No, it's easier to handle the kids, you know.
Oh, they scurry
100
and scuttle. Ooh.
Stop. You cannot say scuttle right now. That's a banned word. 110 centipedes and, oh, sad, only 9 bullet ants. Like, they're the smallest and probably the easiest ones.
That's enough.
All right. The adult tarantulas were described as human hand-sized, each taking up a large plastic container, while the juveniles shared space in small tubes that were stuffed from either end to prevent their escape.
I am having a
No.
physiological reaction to this story.
Yup. All of the creatures are native to the Peruvian Amazon, and the tarantulas specifically are on Peru's list of endangered species. So yeah, they'd be real expensive.
Jeez.
The agency believes they were extracted from Madre de Dios, a bioverse region whose forests make up 12% of the Peruvian Amazon. That's cool. Silva, said he believes the illegally extracted bugs are part of a global trade in which wildlife is smuggled and sold for high prices, generating millions of dollars, which we talked about on a recent episode.
Ray just lit himself on fire again.
Oh, classic. That's fine
Reeks
because
in here now.
I have to give you another photo of the baby tarantula
No,
tubes.
I don't want to see it.
Y'all, first of all,
Ew.
it's really gross to look at, but also makes me really sad. Like, all these animals these insects are arachnids. Sorry, everyone's screaming at me.
They're still animals.
Are crammed. Yeah, I'm just trying to get it right. Crammed into these little tubies with like cum rag scraps shoved into each end. That's just
Some of them might like it.
Ugh.
It's probably cozy, maybe. I don't know. You know, insects are always doing that. They're always crawling all over each other and
Oh yeah.
massing up. Yeah.
Hashtag bug facts from Matt.
Oh, God. Massing up.
Oh God. He also explained that this is weird. This is like, I guess like the holiday shopping season and Black Friday applies to truly all markets, because this guy says that smuggling cases like these are on the rise more often as Christmas nears.
Oh.
What the
As
fuck?
illegally trafficked critters tend to fetch higher prices during the holiday season.
Oh my God.
I can't. No Black Friday deals for smuggled baby tarantulas, tell you what.
Can you imagine that's your stocking stuffer? Just a tube of tarantulas?
I would burn my house to the ground. No, I hate that.
Oh.
I hate that.
Just
The
one
smuggler-
wrapped bullet ant.
Yeah.
I can't. This smuggler in particular was headed to Korea with a planned stop in France. They arrested him, they confiscated the animals, and they are, being brought to safety. I hope that they'll just be fucking re-released because that's shitty.
Don't they got to
Nobody
fly
wants
him back
this.
to Peru now? So there's going to be another flight full of Peruvians.
They stopped him in Peru.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
okay. So they just throw him back in the woods. Okay.
I'm
Behind the airport.
The smuggler himself is from South Korea, so I'm assuming he'll be charged in Peru and then maybe charged in South Korea.
Sure.
I don't know. Well, this is it's an unfolding story, so we'll keep an eye on it.
There's just a lot of different careers out there. I think this is the lesson here. It's like sometimes, you work in an office. Sometimes you're shoving spiders down your pants and trying to get on a plane.
Not everyone
If you
fits in
can-
a box,
No, it's very.
You can dream it, babe. You can do
make it happen. Yeah.
You can
He
make it
didn't-
happen.
He didn't want to spend his life in a cubicle.
Yeah.
This headline that I have now, actually Andrea sent to me, and she sent it to me this past fall, and it didn't make it into the last GAC, and I need to put it in this GAC, mostly because the photo that's like right under the headline for this article
Oh, that's good.
is maybe the best thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. So it's also
Holy
just the
shit.
most it's just the most Wisconsin thing to ever Wisconsin. So
That's grosser than the bug photos.
it's horrifying.
Oh my God.
But also like, okay, daddy.
I have to navigate away.
Like that is some throat relaxation skill. And look at that maw.
That looks like
stretched, baby.
AI trying to make a photo of corn eating.
It looks
is
like an
the-
AI photo.
Yeah.
This is the mouth goatsy of corn photos. And if you're from like the old hell of the internet, you know what goatsy is.
Oh, yeah.
Matt.
Of course I do. What am I?
It's a test and you pass.
Just
Matt
born?
created Goatsy.
Yeah, I am Goatsy. You can't see his face. Could be anyone.
That's
It could
be.
his ball sack.
To be fair, have you ever seen Matt and Goatsy in the same room?
That's right.
So this is from Wisconsin News Today. Several hospitalized at Holman Cornfest inaugural corn chugging competition. And for those of you who do not know what photo I am referring to,
None
it's
of them
like,
do.
well, yeah, but when this comes out, people will go look on social media. This is a grown man in a cutoff tee with like the long hair, but he's balding, which I love that look, by the way, and a mustache. He is red. He has been baked in the sun and also deep-throating corn without breathing for what looks like at least an hour. Like his face he looks on his last legs, shoving the fattest, girthiest, thickest, full-blown corn cob. I think he's biting it and eating the cob.
Like
I don't think they're
end
eating the
first.
kernel.
It's going.
Can I just call this out before we get too deep in? I don't want to ruin it for everyone. This is
Please.
AI. It's AI.
The photo
The
is?
photo is AI. As an artist in this industry that we're in right now, I can't look at this stuff and treat it as real. If you look at his
No, I
fingers,
get that.
he's got too many fingers.
It is.
Yeah.
The writing on
I
his
was
shirt
so-
is not a language.
Nonsense.
And it also
Wow.
the logo on his shirt wraps around his arm too. That's what AI does too.
I was so busy staring at the mouth and the corn
This is how
that
AI
I didn't
gets
even
you.
see the other details.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I'm a boomer.
I am so fucking glad this is fake. I am
Yes,
so relieved.
It is fake. And also look at the other corns on the table. None of them are consistently sized.
And that's the biggest corn cob I've ever seen in my life.
I'm so devastated.
Yeah. We want this man to be real. I'm sure he is real.
I want him to be real so bad.
There's a man out there doing this. There's just no camera on him. I'm
the
sure.
photo is not real.
It's a mukbang.
But the blurb is real. Just
Yes.
not the photo that they put with the
Yes.
blurb, which makes me sad, but I'm still keeping this photo on my mantle forever. So, Holman, Wisconsin. In a tradition celebrated by many in western Wisconsin, Holmen kicked off its 60th annual Corn Fest, offering a wide range of activities for families and children. The newest addition to the festivities, a corn chugging contest, was initially met with anticipation, only to end in bitter disappointment.
My sister would dominate a corn chugging contest.
Oh, that bitch loves
She
corn.
loves corn.
Quote, every other fest has some type of contest where participants engorge themselves on celebrated food, explained fest director Handy Wankin. There's no way that's real. There's
This
no
whole
way
article
that's
is
real.
AI.
There's no way
has to
that's
be.
real.
Handy.
I am being trolled
I think
by
you got
Andrea.
Why is the author of
Our
this article
producer.
a doctor? It says doctor, written by Dr. Jonathan H. Dong. Dr. Dong?
No. Well, this is what happens to me. I get the headline and I love it, and then I don't read the article so I can cold read it on the air. And now it has revealed that I've been trolled
This
by
could be
our
it.
own producer.
Okay, can I also
She's fired.
Can I also point out that where it says previous, like the previous story, that headline is Racing Bratwurst claims he was just following orders.
Also, the next article says Bernie Brewer has died, which I believe that to be true. I
Who
don't
is
know.
that?
I don't know, but he's definitely from Wisconsin.
Well, whatever. I love WisconsinNewsToday.com. Oh, no, it's WisconsinNews.today.
what is
So
it?
many signs that I just ignored wanting this to be real. Well, I'm finishing it. I don't give a fuck. Handy Wankin.
Bernie Brewer is the mascot of the Milwaukee Brewers.
He's dead.
It's the what even is that? A piece of yeast?
So this is like they're the Onion, which I respect.
He died.
This is fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
He says he died due to organ failure, not the biological sort, but rather a catastrophic collapse of the ballpark's antique organ.
Now this is
Oh
real.
my God. I thought this was real. I love this so much.
The memorial service will include a 21 beer salute and the retirement of the organ, which will be replaced with a much safer Casio CTX 7000.
Good call. Good call. Anyway, so Handy Wankin said, we thought we could get in on the fun. Unfortunately, very little fun was had. 10 Holmen locals competed in the event that sent 9 of them to the hospital with corn-induced injuries to their mouths, jaws, and or throats. One contestant not sent to the hospital, Jerry Hotnut, was able to finish one full cob of corn and was considered the winner of the competition. Hatnut described his approach to be less than a professional leader and more a blowjob-esque technique. Quote, I realized so this AI image is Jerry Hotnut,
Yeah.
who is now, according to my brain, very real. Quote, I realized I just needed to relax my jaw and throw it as much as possible and just take that thing. Hotnut shouted over the sounds of ambulances leaving the fairgrounds. But I'm not really looking forward to passing this thing. Wow. Well, Andrea, fool me once. Honestly, shame on me. That was amazing. Okay, this one's not AI. It's my last headline. It was the most submitted headline of the month. It is from USA Today, which, you know what? Maybe it is AI. Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows at this point? And there is a photo that goes with it that is quite gross.
Oh, this one's
So
real. This is local news for where I live. Yes.
Oh,
We're all
perfect. So
talking about this.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I want your feedback then. 4 arrested in California car insurance scam. Clearly a human in a bear suit. Okay, so officials arrested 4 people in California this week after state investigators said they committed insurance fraud by claiming an animal damaged their vehicles when in reality it was someone wearing a bear costume. And there is a photo of the costume on the drive. Why he's in a lab coat, a doctor's coat, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's an add-on that seems odd.
I like
but
that the claws are just like those like meat shredder things.
Yes.
Yeah.
For crackpot carnitas. So all 4 that were arrested are charged with insurance fraud and conspiracy in connection to the reported scam. The state's agency's investigation began after an insurance company suspected fraud earlier this year The suspects told their insurance company that a bear entered into their 2010 Rolls-Royce Ghost and caused interior damage to the vehicle on January 28th in Lake Arrowhead, an unincorporated community in the San Bernardino Mountains. The alleged bear in the vehicle was caught on video. Oh, wait, no. That they took the video themselves to be like, see, it's real. It's real. We caught it on video.
Yeah, which is the best part because it's so like you can see the bear's like elbows and knees and like everything. It's a guy. Even like opens the door like he would like a human would a car door.
He put on his belt.
Yeah.
He uses the key fob and like clicks it twice and the lights flash. The suspects also provided video footage to the insurance company which showed the alleged bear in the vehicle. Quote, upon further scrutiny of the vehicle, the investigation determined the bear was actually a person in a bear costume. Detectives found 2 more insurance claims with 2 different insurance companies from the suspects with the same date of loss and the same location. Y'all, switch those details up, honey. The release... Oh, wait, no. They're trying to claim the same car to a bunch of different insurance companies, which sounds like a really bad idea.
Yeah.
I think those guys talk to each other.
They have lunch.
It's not like cops across state lines. Like these fuckers communicate. They want to not pay you.
They have a database.
Each claim involved 2 vehicles, a 2015 Mercedes G63 AMG. That could be a clown car. I have no fucking clue. And a 22 Mercedes E350, and the suspects also allegedly used a bear costume to make it look like a bear, also entered and damaged those vehicles. So it was separate cars and separate claims.
Wow.
This is just the stupidest thing I've ever fucking read in my life.
They needed their meth.
Well, listen, who knows?
I don't know anything
this is
about
a lot
these
of money.
people.
They also reportedly provided video footage to all of the insurance companies in connection to their claims. To prove it was not actually a bear in the video, the state agency had a biologist from the California Department of Fish and Wildlife review the bear videos.
Oh my God.
The biologist investigators report determined it was, quote, clearly a human in a bear suit.
What a waste of time for that
It's
guy.
just like, I can't fucking believe this is my job.
It's giving Harry and the Hendersons, honestly.
Yeah. It's one of the lowest production bear suits I've seen in a while, I'm going to be honest. Detectives then obtained a search warrant, and during a search of the suspects' homes, they found a costume bear suit. Officials arrested all 4 suspects, and the insurance companies lost nearly $142,000 due to fraud allegedly committed by the suspects. Y'all paid? Y'all paid?
It's
I mean,
so
maybe
important sometimes.
Maybe this isn't their first
Bear rodeo?
Maybe these, I don't know, but it doesn't say from different scams. Like this makes it, the wording of this makes it sound like it's in connection to these specific claims that they paid some of them out, which that's wild to me. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, their pending court dates are not yet listed online, and you know what? Good for them.
Let them have
Sure.
it.
Yeah, fuck the insurance companies.
Yeah.
This is a victimless crime,
It's all a
and I
scam
fucking
anyway.
love it.
Yeah, man.
Everything's a scam.
Also, I've been
well-
to Lake Arrowhead many times, and those people, it's out in the middle of nowhere. They're bored, and the elevation's all weird, and everyone's all fucked up. So it's
Everyone's grown weed, probably.
it's growing weird. Yeah, there's low oxygen up there. People aren't thinking right. I get it.
Didn't they go on a trip to Lake Arrowhead on Vanderpump Rules one season?
They
I
did.
think so.
I think it was the last
Are you
one.
a VPR girly?
I watched the last 2 seasons, and I hate myself for it.
Okay, so have you not seen all of them?
Oh, vintage VPR is so
It's
much
the best.
better.
The last 2 seasons suck.
Oh yeah. Well, my wife and I only started watching it because of the Scandival thing, and also
Baby
like
girl, stick it out. Watch it from the beginning. It's fucking unhinged. It's
I
the best
can't.
reality television that exists.
It
It's
started
so
in like
awful.
2011. Like the fashion sensibilities of these people.
Your wife's gonna be like, I had that statement necklace, and I wore that sock bun.
And they're so much messier because they are all actually still fucking broke and like
Broke.
drunk all the time at this
Yeah.
point.
And living in the shittiest apartments in LA. Oh,
so
it's
good.
amazing. Tom Sandoval's OG apartment is like the grossest place on earth.
I can
I'm
smell
obsessed
it.
with it.
Well, his
It's-
fucking bar/restaurant was gross as hell too. That's
Did you go
Schwartz and
to Schwartz and
Sandy's
Sandy's?
stinks. I think it's closed now. Thank
It
God.
is,
yeah.
yeah.
It
Oof.
closed. Big week for VPR. The show's ending while it's getting a new cast. Schwartz and Sandy's is closed.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lisa Vanderpump is still, well, honestly, Ken Todd is still miraculously being kept alive with controls, in my opinion.
Kristen's pregnant.
Nope, Kristen's pregnant. But listen, I'm not telling you have to watch The Valley, but I am telling you
Watch.
it is worth it to watch. Just get COVID and don't leave your house for a week. Done.
Okay. I'll go out and get COVID this afternoon.
Yeah. Just,
Run
I
out.
just had it.
Run
I'll
out and
send you a
grab
jar.
COVID.
Start licking people around Costco.
Oh God, I love that for you. Well, that's fabulous. I'm glad you've at least watched the last 2 seasons. I went into a full blown manic episode when Scandival broke and made the most unhinged PowerPoint of all time, like chronicling how everybody is connected and their dating histories, and then like how we culminated to this moment and all of the suspicion of how long the affair had been going on.
Oh, wow.
I didn't sleep for days.
And
Yeah.
then we did an Instagram live. I got a whiteboard. We were doing diagrams.
I put my PowerPoint on a projector and we were on Instagram Live for like no joke over 2 hours. We had to do multiple parts
Oh my God.
going over all of this. Yeah, I'm
So you think you're mentally ill?
I'm
well, I
mentally
used
ill.
to,
I am
yeah.
unwell. Yeah, no, there's always somebody out there who is more terrible in the brain than you are.
Yeah. Spoken like
I'm here to-
a true terrible brain.
Yeah, I'm here to be that person for you. I also have hella ADHD and I'm super high right now, so like nothing's making sense. So that is where I will end my portion of the show today. Thank you all so much for sending in your headlines. As always, if you stumble across a funny headline, and I'm gonna ask, I want more police blotters. I haven't seen a good local police blotter in a long time, and I need y'all to step it up.
I'll
I
ask
need
my
y'all
mom.
to subscribe to your local paper, okay? But go over to our website, wineandcrimepodcast.com. Under Contact Us, there's a little drop-down menu that has funny headlines as an option. Plop your article there, send it off into the ether, and hopefully I will read it for you. Matt, let's hand it over to you to read our Coven Confessions for this month.
Oh my God.
These are actual listeners of this show who write in to tell us the worst/most embarrassing thing they have ever done.
Yeah. It started as a fun little party game that we used to play called Go Around the Room and say what's the worst thing you've ever done.
Play that at Christmas.
But we'll call it
I
Coven
promise you.
Confessions. Hi, everyone. Matt OBrien here, live on air with Coven Confessions.
Okay, NPR.
We're going to our sponsor,
Jazz
Squarespace.
for your jazz. Oh, God. I wish Squarespace would sponsor us.
If you like this, log on to MeUndies for 15% off.
Literally wearing MeUndies right now. Stop
I
fucking
think I
calling me
am
out.
too, actually.
I definitely am.
Oh, I just felt it. I am. Wow. Only because my wife was in a MeUndies commercial and she stole some of the merch.
They're nice.
They're so nice.
They're not bad. They should give us money right now.
Yeah. You're welcome,
we gotta
MeUndies.
We'll
stop.
send you a bill.
Yeah. So is this this is the name of the first one. It's called First Date Fail. The first time I ever went on a real date was when I was going to the University of Toronto.
There
I
we
know
go.
that. I met a cute guy on Tinder and he invited me to see his play. It's a terrible start. Can you imagine how artsy and romantic? So I had to say
Spend time
yes.
together. Come see my play.
Come watch
Oh, wait.
me
It's not
act.
his play. It says a play.
A play.
Which there is a difference.
There's a huge
Okay.
difference. Okay.
There
That's
is a
still
difference.
a stupid
Come
first.
see me do improv.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Terrible. Any first date where you have to sit quietly in a theater and just stare forward is terrible.
Yeah.
I did go on a good first date at Acme Comedy Club in
Okay.
Minneapolis. But like that was fun and we could chat. Like there's a bar and we had a little table and you can like chat between sets. It like wasn't
Yeah, that's
was
not
fun.
bad.
That's not like
we made
an
out and then we
opera,
never went on
though.
another date. No.
No. Well, you haven't seen me do stand up. Every set is an opera for me.
Don't worry.
True.
We will also chit chat through the whole thing.
We'll heckle you.
I don't like this guy.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Unfollow.
So they're on the date. So she had to say yes, is what she says. After the play, the dude asks me if I had any plans. I replied, yeah, this date. He said, "Oh, okay. Well, I have to go meet my drug dealer at the Royal York Hotel."
I'm in. Let's fucking go. You
Yeah.
son of a bitch. I'm in.
I'll
What are
sleep
you
with
getting? Anything
right
fun?
now?
That's a nice hotel too. So these must be nice drugs.
Yeah.
This was pre-legalization, so I assumed we were just meeting this dude in front of the hotel and grabbing some weed. We walk there, and my date enters the hotel. I just follow silently. We go up to the third highest floor, and the dude knocks on a door. This is going to be good. We are invited into his fancy-ass hotel room. Can confirm it's fancy. I've been there. Where the drug dealer and his older club promoter girlfriend are staying. Turns out this guy was buying 2 ounces of shrooms.
All right. Well, those are legal in Vancouver.
Yeah, they're in Canada.
I think they're legal. We treat them legally.
They're like decriminalized at least.
Yeah. No one.
Have you ever done Just for Laughs in Vancouver?
No, only Montreal and Toronto.
When we did it, they had like they set up the artist suite with like snacks and TV playing and like little gifts or whatever. They had a mushroom buffet.
Like,
But
mushroom.
pill form.
Psilocybin, whatever, mushroom. Oh, Lucy and I were wandering around Vancouver
Oh yeah.
in
It
a
was
state
really
of pure
fun.
bliss.
I love that.
I bought a small silk scarf because my
I brought
identity was
Prada
completely
shoes.
different that day. We were just totally different people having the most romantic day of our lives.
We had a
think.
beautiful lunch. We walked by the water. I mean, it was just, if she had proposed, I would have said yes.
Yeah. Mushrooms make everything better, man. It's
Oh my God, I agree.
So, okay, I hope this goes to a good place because, so they're in this room. He's going to buy 2 ounces of mushrooms. So this person said, I sat on the edge of the bed while my date, his drug dealer, and the drug dealer's girlfriend started doing lines of coke in front of me. Okay. That's not very
now you're
mushroom-like.
losing me. You're losing me now.
They offered
this
some
date.
to me, but I told them I was okay, which is a great
That's
line. I'm okay. Very Canadian answer as well. Oh, thanks. Sorry, but no.
Sorry.
It's
Oh,
exact.
thanks. Sorry, but no.
I've literally said those words to somebody offering me coke, so I get that. Oh, thanks. Sorry, but no troubles if you're not, if that's okay.
You guys like potato chips?
Yeah. How about chips these days? Let's snort a
I'll
line
dress.
of those.
I met Miss Vicky, you know.
True. I know where she lives.
Oh, Jesus.
The club girlfriend then turned to me. Club girlfriend?
Like the club promoter,
Club
drug
promoter,
dealer girlfriend.
Drug
Yeah.
dealer's girlfriend turned to me and said she was getting a very judgy vibe from me, and she didn't like it. That's a very coked up person thing to say. I apologized a bunch.
Don't.
Very Canadian.
I'm sorry.
This is
Sorry.
set
I
in
swear.
Toronto.
I'm not
Sorry,
jealous.
sorry,
I'm not
sorry,
judging you.
Sorry, I'm not. Sorry, I'm not drugging hard enough with you. I'm so sorry. I apologized a bunch, and the drug dealer said it might be best if I go. I got out of the hotel so fucking fast, and I was so dumb and desperate. I hung out with the guy again, and that's how I found out he, a 26-year-old comedian, had a Hello Kitty belly button piercing.
Wait.
Wait, that's funny again, though.
This is what a crazy.
And now we are celebrating our 4th wedding anniversary.
Just gave birth to our second child.
Is this how you and your wife met?
This was the origin of me and my wife. This is how I proposed to my wife.
Over
Do
a
you
bag of
still-
Coke.
With a Hello Kitty button.
Yeah.
Belly button. Oh my God, I can't read. I'm so high. Hello Kitty belly button ring?
Here's the problem. I did start comedy in Toronto.
That
I
is a
probably know who this is about. There's one 26-year-old comedian, Hello Kitty belly button piercing. 5 guys just are in my brain right now, and I'm going to
You've
message
narrowed
them all.
it down
Yeah.
to only 5 guys. Okay,
Which
text
one
us
does
privately who these guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, honey.
Oh,
all
did
of
you
them.
ask which comedian does coke?
I
Okay.
have never.
It was our cab driver.
Slightly
Just
more
for
than 5
laughs.
guys in my brain are just erupted in there.
Which
That's-
comedian does Coke?
I also love that the drug dealer was like, yeah, if you didn't like the coke, you should probably go because we're all about to do some crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like,
is
you are not
the
going to like what
appetizer.
happens next if this is the vibe we're getting off you from the cocaine.
So wait, did she hook up with this guy to see the belly button piercing, or did he have a crop
I feel
top
like
on?
that's implied.
Okay.
I think
Because
they
she
would have
says, like-
mentioned if there was a crop top involved.
He showed up to our second date in a crop crop top, sporting a Hello Kitty belly.
Here's the problem. One of the guys I'm picturing wears crop tops. He's.
I think we found our man.
I think we
I think
found
I
him.
know who this is about.
I love this.
Wow.
Good job, Andrea.
Yeah.
That is a spectacular confession. I love that. All right, what do we got next?
This was good for me. The title is Why Are Mats?
Oh, uh-oh. Like, why are men?
Okay.
Why are mats?
Here we go. So this isn't necessarily the worst thing I've ever done, but this is now the second worst night of my life. Previously first. Okay.
I want to unpack that, but I also don't.
It's a lot of math to figure out there. So it all started out with a friend needing a ride to pick up some edibles. She didn't have a car because she got in trouble for edibles.
Okay.
Anyway, her payment to me was a 250 milligram Rice Krispie edible.
Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. I'd be housing that motherfucker in
can't.
one sitting.
I max 10 milligrams per. That's as much I can't do. 250 milligrams?
250.
I probably wouldn't eat a whole 250. The most I've had in one sitting is 100.
Whoa, I can't imagine.
But you
I
were
did it
high
in
for
LA.
like 3 days.
No, that was different. When I had,
Okay.
I don't know how many milligrams I had that time because that was, my husband grows.
We had
and
to
he
push
made-
back recording
I
2
had to
days
cancel recording.
because she was too high to read.
he made an infused coconut oil and I made a fuck ton of popcorn in it and watched a double feature of The Day After Tomorrow and Fall.
Oh, yeah.
It was fucking awesome. And I
That's
had
great.
this giant bucket of popcorn that I'd use like 2 heaping spoonfuls of this no idea how many milligrams strong weed oil in. Ate the whole bucket. And when I went up to bed, I told my husband, I was like, Bill, I think I need to go to the hospital. And he was like, you don't need to go to the hospital. You need to go to bed. And then I was still high the next day.
Wow.
And it was
Next
so
day.
high, I like could not get out of bed. I was like, I can't read. Like I tried to look at emails. I can't all the words are moving on the screen. I can't do this.
Holy shit.
it
Thousands
was
of
crazy.
milligrams. That's thousands.
Who
for
knows?
Sure.
But I drank 100 milligrams soda in LA and I was fine.
Nice.
So I don't fucking know, man. It's
So
all
LA.
It's sorcery. I know. It's so LA, man.
So her friend gave her this 250 milligram Rice Krispie edible. I would have preferred gas money, but it's fine. I had smoked a little weed before and had a good time, but this was my first time dabbling in the world of edibles.
Oh no.
This is always a terrible story.
You don't give a first timer just a brick
No.
of edible.
No.
Gummies only.
Yeah.
Very accurately measured gummies.
That night, I told my mom I was staying at a girlfriend's house when I, in fact, was going to my boyfriend's best friend's house to stay the night. No weird shit. We're all just best friends. Okay. This friend is what some may call a pothead.
No.
What is this person, a narc?
I love this. I love this person.
So naturally, I wanted to try this edible and asked how much I should eat. He said, eat half.
That's me.
What an asshole.
Oh my God.
Oh, eat half.
Since y'all can't really do math, that's 125 milligrams of marijuana.
You're right.
Honestly,
thank you for breaking that down.
doing that. Yeah, I was
Thanks.
not going to
Yeah.
fucking do that.
That's a fucking lot for someone who barely smoked weed. Yes, I agree.
That's a fucking lot for someone who
Does.
regularly smokes weed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At first, I was having a fantastic time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's how it always starts. We watched The Lorax and listened to Harry Styles' new album.
Sounds great.
I was recording myself on Snapchat and told my friend, it's not stopping, dude. I just keep going up and up. And then I wasn't heard from for the rest of the night.
And then I disappeared.
Then I went to the dark place. I started to get a bit anxious, and my friend, who we'll call Matt,
Oh, here we go.
was over by the dining room and knocked his fists on the table. Immediately, my heart felt like lava, and it felt like it was beating out of my chest. Classic. I decided I just needed to go to bed and told my boyfriend that I didn't feel good. I laid down and all of a sudden decided that if I fell asleep, I was going to die. I love weed, man.
I decided that if I fell asleep, I was
Sleep.
going to die.
I was going to die. I need more weed for this. I'm too stressed.
It was
good call.
it just kept going. I would go in and out of consciousness, and as soon as I realized I was waking up, I would begin screaming bloody murder at the top of my lungs.
Oh, no.
It was terrifying. This went on for 15 plus minutes. which you're really high, so it probably went on for like 3 minutes.
It felt, but it feels like an eternity.
Yeah. You're like, I was doing it for hours. It was 3 minutes. Going in and out of consciousness each time I would start waking up, I would remember who I was. I would start repeating my name and saying where I worked, where I was, etc.
Grounding exercises.
I feel really
That's
bad
great.
for this person.
This is a doozy of a story,
Yeah.
too. Thank God Matt lived in a single-family home because the cops would have been at the door in 2 seconds. My boyfriend and Matt, who tried to calm me down while they were also high,
That's never good.
but I remember them screaming at me to calm down. Maybe they weren't screaming. They were probably just talking.
I appreciate that this person said, I remember them,
Yes.
which is like, that was my perception, but I was on the moon. So
I
who
remember
fucking
their
knows?
hands were knives, but they might have not been.
That AI photo was real, damn it.
There was a man sucking off corn in the corner. That's why they call it corner.
Hank Wanky is real.
If I just believe hard enough.
Eventually, I stood up and started pacing, and each time I went back down, it would last longer, and my conscious time would be shorter and shorter. I literally thought I was dying.
Sounds awful.
The whole time, my heart felt like it was coming out of my chest, and lava poured out of all my crevices. She might be having diarrhea.
Yeah, been there, babe.
I hope
Sometimes
she's
I
not
get-
on her period.
Sometimes I get really high, and I'm just like, oh my God, am I pissing myself? And I'm not. But if I'm very high,
My
for some
crotch
reason, I
is
think
really
that.
hot.
Yeah, I got a hot crotch.
Hot crotch.
Oh no, I've got hot crotch. I need to go home.
911.
Come down with a
I have
case
hot
of hot
crotch.
crotch.
I need an ambulance.
I've asked friends that. I'm like, hey, when you get really high, do you think you're pissing yourself? And everyone's
no.
like, no,
No.
never. I'm like,
I've
okay,
never had that
great. All right.
concern.
Just
Cool,
something
me
I got.
neither.
Yeah. I don't know why. Somebody else told me that. So she felt like lava was pouring out of her crevices. I started screaming at them to call 911. They refused. Great call on their part. I was pissed because I literally thought they were going to let me die because they didn't want me to be caught with a little marijuana. Eventually, I convinced them to call my mom because both my parents always told me that no matter what trouble I was in, I could call them and they wouldn't be mad.
I think these people, at the time that this took place, must have been in high school because she's lying about where she's staying for the night. She says she's with her best friend.
She's at her
Yeah.
boyfriend's
She's not. She's at her boyfriend's friend's house. They're all hanging out. They're eating weed.
They're definitely in high school.
She's definitely not
They're-
37.
No, I'm putting myself where I'm at right
Yeah.
now in this place, and I'm like, why are you telling your mom?
Yeah, calling your mom. Your mom's like, don't you have a job? Like, get out of here.
I am several states away from you right now. I don't know what
Yeah.
you're expecting me to do.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you want me to do about it?
Okay, both her parents. So she called them. I remember my boyfriend on the phone with my mom telling her what happened and how she thought she was going to hate him. It's been 3 years now, and both my parents absolutely love him. Okay,
Oh,
so
you are
that's nice.
young, honey. You're young.
Jeez. So my mom came to Matt's house to pick me up, and I demanded that we go to the hospital. She refused, and I was very angry at this point. So angry that I put my hand on the gear shift and attempted to put her car in first gear.
Oh my God.
Ugh. She still refused, so I decided it would be good if I raised my fist as if I was going to punch my mother.
Honey.
I don't know if this was weed. This might have been something else.
Yeah, did they give you a spice cupcake?
Yeah, I was like,
But they've
Fuck.
never smoked weed before, and then they ate 125 milligrams.
Yeah,
that would
that's-
send anyone into a totally different dimension.
you're out of your
Yeah.
body.
Yeah.
What the fuck, they said. Thank God I didn't punch her, and now we laugh about this.
Remember that time you were so high you almost punched me
You
in the
almost
face while I was
destroyed me with your
driving?
hands.
Yeah.
While this was all happening, I continued to spiral downwards. My mom finally decided that I wasn't going to calm down, and we drove to the hospital. Oh, no.
She's putting you on a temporary hold.
I
We're
hope this was
5150ing this person.
Oh,
I hope this
honey.
was in Canada too, so they didn't have to pay anything.
Yeah.
Doubt it.
Oh God. I don't remember driving, but I remember running into the ER telling them I was dying. I was slamming on the ER doors, begging them to let me in. Security came over and told me if I didn't calm down and check in, they would have to take me away, in quotes.
Oh, no.
She really almost was 5150.
The drama.
Oh, no.
This is an episode of Gossip Girls, I swear to God.
Yeah.
So my boyfriend...
She is Serena van der Woodsen.
This is a season finale of something.
It is. This is the climax of an entire season. So my boyfriend, who was panicking, and my mother, who was embarrassed, checked me in as I continued to bang on the door and eventually threw up all over my feet and the security officer's shoes.
Nice.
Multiple fucking times.
Get it out,
man.
girl. Get it
Yeah.
out.
That's
Purge.
probably the best thing.
Yeah.
This tracks.
I finally got back to a room. I don't remember much, but this is when I started feeling better. The doctor came in and asked what happened, and I decided to tell him everything in detail and full name dropping my boyfriend and Matt. Narc,
If I'm
man.
going down, you're all going down with me.
The doctor kept saying he didn't need to know names. I love that. Ratting
Don't
them out
tell
for no
me
reason.
that.
Yeah. Stop giving their addresses and phone
Yeah,
numbers.
even the doctor is like, that's too much.
Yeah. But I didn't care. Continued to give their full names, middle names, and all. Wow.
Middle names and all. Addresses.
What the fuck?
You're
Thankfully,
swinging hard the other way, girlfriend.
Yeah.
thankfully, everyone working was an absolute sweetheart and didn't do a drug test because he didn't want it on my record. I left the ER and literally don't remember anything else. I think I just fell asleep for the rest of the night. I know this was long, but this was also literally the longest night of my life, so I don't know what to tell you. I haven't been high since. Wow, that's
That
the
girl,
last
go
time.
back. Try again.
Has
gotta-
or hasn't?
Has not.
Oh, I thought
Oh,
she said
okay.
I've been high since.
I haven't been high since,
I would get it.
which is disappointing because I liked being high before, but I don't want to experience anything like this green out ever again. Thankfully, everything worked out for me. Just some trauma, but that's what Talkspace is for.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Schedule that video call with your therapist, honey, because that was a lot.
That was a lot. And also,
Honey.
if that's the second worst night of your life, you should also schedule
Yeah, what the hell?
You can email Lucy privately about the first worst night.
Yes. I'm here
We don't
for
need
you.
it to be. We don't need it to be a Coven confession.
One time, my wife, actually, she's coming home right now. She's going to hear me talking about this.
Yes.
We saw John Williams at the Hollywood Bowl, like the conductor, John Williams.
Hell yeah.
So we saw him conduct his orchestra at the Hollywood Bowl, and we both got very high. My wife got way too high and did green out. And so like when he started the Star Wars theme song, it was like, "Brr," and I just look over and she's just sweating and just like,
Oh, honey. Oh my God.
yeah, she's like, we gotta get out of here.
Oh, your poor wife.
It's horrible when you're in public, but if you're with your friends and attempting to order a pizza, it's kind of fun.
That
Dicey,
is very
very
fun.
dicey.
All right, we have one more for the main feed and then one for just our friends on Patreon. So if you want an extra confession, come join us on
God.
Patreon.
Pay that money.
Yeah.
This is called Holiday Shopping Shenanigans. So it was the 90s. I'm familiar. And I was a very rambunctious 4-year-old boy.
Less familiar, but all right.
Also, I love that this is what my wife hears in the next room. It was the 90s, and I was a rambunctious 4-year-old boy. My mother had decided that she would get all her Christmas shopping done at the Mall of America in one go.
Oh, have you ever been to the Mall of America?
I don't think I have.
Have you ever been to Minnesota?
No, I've never.
What
Would
the
love
fuck?
to. I know.
We've been to your homeland.
Your friggin' place.
Your friggin' whatever.
I've flown over Minnesota.
Hasn't everyone?
I've looked at
for
it from a
you.
window.
Gorgeous.
Being a responsible mother, she brought me and my 7-year-old brother because she could not leave us home alone.
Yeah, 7 and 4 Home Alone would probably not be great.
Yeah, I'm not a parent, but I understand that's the way you do it. We had been wandering around the mall for several hours when she brought us to the 3rd floor of Macy's store located in one of the corners of the MOA, Mall of America, for the listener. My brother and I were doing the best to occupy ourselves while following her around, and I decided I want to play a game to liven up this long trip. As a
Hide from
4-year-old.
mom.
Oh, God. Yeah,
act
that was
kidnapped.
my sister's game.
Act kidnapped. Oh my God.
As a 4-year-old, I came up with the best game to play in a big store, hide and seek.
There we go.
Oh, shit.
There we go.
That's fun. I told my brother to start counting and then ran to find the perfect hiding spot. I must admit at this time that my brother had no idea what I was thinking, and when he turned around, I was already out of sight.
Oh, no.
My mother had been paying for things, and she thought that distraction was all, and that this distraction was all that I needed. When she turned around and she only saw one son, she lost her damn mind. It would be bad if she didn't lose her mind and she was like, oh, thank God.
I'm free.
Quick,
from
let's
this prison.
leave.
Yeah. Oh, the bad one's gone.
Quick, let's leave. The bad one's gone. That is fucked up. That's
We
dark.
lost him. We lost the dud.
My Christmas wish. Take the shitty son. Being the 90s, stranger danger was huge, and the fear of an adult walking off with a child was always present. Yes.
And this is like Midwest, Matthew Wetterling, so much in that, like the Midwest was in a consistent decade-long panic at this time because of the Wetterling case.
And
Which
that-
like might not mean anything to you, but was a kidnapping of a young boy in like a small community here.
every town had that story.
1,000%.
Yeah,
1,000%.
There was one in my old hometowns, and it was like, they're going to get snatched up. People are snatching up kids.
Yeah.
I don't
Lots
know.
of
I guess
snatching happening.
this is pre-internet, so maybe
It was
everyone's
so
just
weird
yeah.
though. I don't know if this was like your boomer parents situation, but it was like the cultural panic of kidnapping plus go outside and do not come home until the streetlights come on.
Yeah, I was like, well, what do I do?
And
Yeah,
no cell phones.
Yeah.
No. I was exploring the sewer drains under our neighborhood when I was like 7.
Oh,
Yeah. When I'd go visit my cousins and we'd go to the ravine, and that was like the coolest thing.
Let's
Yeah.
go throw rocks in the quarry.
Yeah.
Let's go catch we used to catch crawfish in the old creek. And but
Oh,
we'd
I
have
love
them
a creek.
we'd have them pinch down on our fingers and see how long we could last.
Ooh.
We needed video games.
I have
That's
I
why
have
your
crayfish
hands
trauma.
look like AI nubs. It's the crayfish game. God, I wasn't
won.
going to ask, but
Yeah.
I won.
Now I'm gonna look like this forever. So stranger danger, child was okay. My mother started screaming my name, and the Macy's employee jumped into action. The cashier had all 3 levels closed down. Security
God.
gates were dropped,
Oh my God.
like it's a space station.
Like locked out. This is like a scene from fucking Alien.
Yeah. PA announcements were made giving my description, and the police were called to the store. While the police started a floor-to-floor search of the Macy's, this is like the best game of hide and seek when the police are involved.
This is
He won.
This is Mission Impossible at
Yeah.
this point.
Mall security was reviewing the cameras, and my mother was sobbing on the first floor as they gathered all the people in the store to interrogate them. Whew.
Oh my
As,
God.
as some officers were questioning people and getting a description from my mother, the others started a floor-by-floor search to see if I was still in the store. Now, to how I screwed my brother over.
No.
I had the best hiding spot under a pile of clothes in a changing room.
Damn.
Jesus Christ.
Wow, I hope no one was changing while you're hiding there.
Yeah, really.
Oh, no.
After hiding for roughly 2 hours,
What?
I really needed to use the bathroom. That was my first question. And was wondering if someone would find me. Then I heard the
I would
police.
have never lasted 2 hours.
Oh,
My
man.
ADHD could never.
Oh, he's getting more and more excited that no one can find him.
I know. That's what makes me want to pee.
Yeah.
I'd be in a just piss-covered pile of clothes. That's what I'd be in. Then I heard the police radio as an officer checked the dressing room. I was so surprised when they ripped the sweater covering my face, thinking I may have done something wrong. I shit my pants without warning.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Yes. So he drops a log. The officer radioed in and brought me down to my sobbing mother, who was so happy that I was okay. While the officers brought me a new pair of pants, they asked if I was taken by an older adult or I was hiding from someone, stranger danger, and I said yes.
No.
When they asked who, I said, well, my brother. He said we were going to play hide and seek.
Bullshit. This was your idea, you little fucker.
What a dink. My mother went from overjoyed to a combination of rage and embarrassment as she screamed for the whole mall to hear. He said, what? My brother was dragged out of the mall by his ear while I skipped out in a new pair of pants.
Oh.
He, to this day, still doesn't know what I said to my mother that day, but he remembers that he was not allowed to play sports or do anything for a full year. Ooh.
Oh, you are the worst.
Kids suck.
Yeah.
Man.
Idiot.
Wow. That 4-year-old has no moral compass.
None. Sociopath.
Also, it's rare to shit your pants and then be rewarded with a gift of new pants.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but this one's 4, so I think
so.
it's less rare. What I'm pissed off about is why it took the cops 2 hours to check the dressing rooms.
Bad cops. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Just
That's actually
where do you look, you know?
Yeah, no. I mean, he could be anywhere. I guess we'll take 2 hours to check one of the most obvious rooms that he could be in.
That was probably a cop. That was probably a shitty cop being like, you know what? I don't know where this kid is. I'm going to try some pants on. Like he was probably shopping for himself.
And then the pile moved.
And then the pile, like, oh, I found him. Also, these
I'm a
pants
hero.
fit great.
Incredible.
Oh my God.
Incredible.
That smacks of John Bonet.
I actually had the same thought where it's like, okay.
All the cops are in the house. You just assume
Who
that she's
found
been
him?
taken.
Who found her in the wine cellar? That's sus. Hours later. I don't
What are your thoughts on John Bonet, Matt?
Oh, we don't
I
want to
don't
get
know.
sued,
I haven't watched
but-
that documentary yet, but I know that she's no longer alive.
No.
That's what I know.
Dead. Forever frozen at the age of 6.
Yes.
Oh, poor
This is what I
thing.
know.
Well, look at that case more because it's brutal.
Can't wait.
Put it on my to-do list.
Love the holiday season. Okay, so this one is called Blatt's Blunder. Okay, so here's how it starts. Now get comfy and step back into the summer of 1983.
I was still an egg in my mother's sack.
Ew.
I'm still in my dad's balls.
Yep, not yet released and fertilized.
We're all,
My dear
scrunched,
late
we're all
father.
masked up like baby tarantulas.
Yes.
Yeah,
We are just DNA at this point.
we were yet a clutch
Yeah.
of our mother's eggs.
Stop.
I was just a bit over the age of 19 at the time and still living at home. No bills, kids, or serious attachments. Lots of friends, fun, and parties. Stay out way too late, drink and smoke a bit too much, grab a couple hours of sleep, go to work, wash, rinse, repeat. Love it.
These are the early episodes of Vanderpump Rules that this
Yeah.
person is describing.
There we are. This is written by Tom Sandoval. My older brother, we'll call him Blatt. Will we?
So this is a thing we do on the show where when we're trying to hide someone's name, we just change the first letter to B
BL.
or make it work.
BL.
So our friend Courtney, we just go, Blortney.
Blortney.
to keep her identity a secret. So I think we know what Blatt's name probably
I think we could decipher it. Me especially.
Eustace.
Eustace.
So we have Blatt, who moved home after getting divorced and out of the army.
Yikes. Blatt's going through it.
Blatt is feeling it. Blatt had always been the, shall we say, difficult middle child in our family. I'm sure my parents thought that marriage and the army would solve all Blatt's teenage rebellion. Suffice to say, things went south when both the army and the wife, with both the army and the wife. But my parents, being who they were, welcomed Blatt home and life went on. Blatt was 6 years older than me, but in a small town, your friend groups tend to overlap. And so am I idiot? Am I stupid?
No, you're not stupid.
Sorry.
These are hard to cold read.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I'm like, maybe I do like grammar.
And you, because this isn't live, if when I start fucking belching halfway through a word, I just stop and
Start
then start
over.
over
Yeah.
again. So you're good.
All
John
right.
can make you sound like a fucking Mensa memory genius.
Whoa.
You're safe. Whoa.
Blatt was 6 years older than me, but in a small town, your friend groups tend to overlap. And so not long after returning home, Blatt and my friend Blobbin started dating.
Blobbin.
Blatt and Blobbin.
Blobbin.
A classic is as classic as Romeo and Juliet.
Romeo and
Blatt and
Juliet.
Blobbin.
Blobbin was one of those girls I had a bit of a love-hate relationship with, but at the time we were on good terms, so no problem. Blatt also started hanging out with one of my exes, Bomb. No problem there either.
I love this.
Bomb and I still hung out with the same crowd and on occasion would find our paths crossing in the night, so to speak. Ooh.
Okay.
Sounds saucy. One
Y'all
fine...
were fucking.
Yeah, they're fucking. They're blocking?
They're blocking.
Yeah.
Blood blocking.
One fine afternoon, Blatt, Blobbin, and Bomb.
This sounds like
the Munchkins.
sounds like a children's book.
Blatt, Blobbin, and Blah. What Dr. Zeus novel is this?
Yeah.
Blatt, Blobbin, and Blom procured themselves some, what we called back in the day, homegrown.
We still call it that.
Sure. Meaning some Yahoo actually grew this particular blend in their literal backyard from seeds from the original pot they bought from a reputable dealer.
Some Yahoo.
This is the early 80s. So these three proceeded to bake up a batch of some special brownies. Brownies were baked, consumed, and now Blatt, Blobbin, and Bomb were also baked. Too many bees. The lack of judgment that went into their next move verifies this fact. These three decided to leave the leftover brownies on my bed, assuming I would be surprised and tickled pink when I got home and discovered such a treat.
No.
Again.
Because yes, I would, and I'd eat all of them, and then I'd have to go to the hospital where I would scream and
I'd
bang on the door.
Assault
Yes,
my
and-
mother.
Punch my mom in the face. Fly to New Jersey, punch my mom in the face,
Narc on
demand
all of
she
my
take me to
friends.
the hospital, give full names.
I want to be that type of high. I'm going to see what it takes for me to get there. Where
got work
was
to do tonight.
Where was sweet little innocent me, you ask? I was on a boat with a bunch of friends and wouldn't get home until late the next day. Meanwhile, my mother, who rarely came upstairs,
No, mom, turn back.
where Blatt and my bedrooms were, decided this particular day to look for something in the attic. What are the odds,
A
right?
plate of brownies.
Yeah, I wonder if there's any brownies in the attic. On the way back downstairs from her attic expedition, good old mom peeked into my room and lo and behold saw a pan of brownies sitting on my bed. Figured I had simply made myself a snack and neglected to bring the leftovers downstairs. She grabbed the contraband goodies so they wouldn't go to waste.
What a snack. to
Is that
just
something
whip
people
up.
did?
But also, bitch, they're not going to waste. I put them here for later.
Yeah.
Hands off my brownies.
Get your hands off my sweet treats. The next morning, bright and early, my mom proceeded to make my father's lunch. Oh, wow. Couple Sammy's, bag of chips, an apple, and 2 goodly-sized brownies.
Oh, goodly sized brownies.
Husband, I've packed you 2 goodly-sized brownies for your journey.
Enjoy your occupation, husband.
Your
Please.
dear husband.
Professional obligations.
With a peck on the cheek, Dad picked up his lunchbox and headed to work. Dad was a signalman for the railroad. Uh-oh. I'm scrolling down to see if tens of thousands have died since.
We're not allowed to read confessions that involve or implicate someone in a death. We've learned this the hard
Okay.
way.
We did that before, and lawyers contacted
Oh
us.
boy.
We were subpoenaed.
So everyone's going to be fine, I
We had to
guess.
hand over some emails.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So Dad is a signalman for the railroad, and on his day took him all over the local area. Lunchtime came, and he pulled into a convenient parking lot, chowed down, and headed back to work. About 30 minutes later, Dad started to feel a little odd and very thirsty. So he took one of the other guys on the crew. So he told one of the other guys on the crew he was going to run to the store across the street from where they were working. Inside the store, Dad bent over to grab a chocolate milk in one of the coolers and bang, passed right out.
Oh, yeah.
He came to almost immediately, but by then 911 had already been called and the guys from the crew were insistent that he go to the hospital. In no shape to argue and feeling decidedly off, Dad was transported to the local ER and was then admitted for testing. If you don't know you're high, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
You're like, this is brain tumor.
Yeah.
Mom was called and rushed by his dad's side. Me and my sibs were worried sick, and at this point, we were still in the dark about what was about to unfold.
Was he screaming, I'm dying, I'm dying?
Here are the names of everyone I know.
Yeah, middle names included. Blatt and I had not spoken since the day before, and he was at work when things started to go south. At the hospital, they ran all the tests, and they came back clean. Of course, in 1983, no one would have tested a healthy man in his 50s for THC. So my father was convinced he was dying of some rare disease that they hadn't yet tested him for. Oh my God.
Baby, no.
Later that evening, we were all at the hospital visiting and trying to cheer the old man up. So here's a script of what went down.
Ooh, you get to use your acting chops. Okay, I'm going to play bro number 1. You're going to play dad. Lucy, you're going to play Blatt.
Okay.
Okay. I am dad. This is the hospital, 1980s. Well, when you go downhill, you go down fast.
I'm sure you're fine.
Maybe it's just low blood sugar or food poisoning. What'd you eat?
Just the lunch your mother packed me.
Oh, hold on. I'll also play mom. Well, if it was the brownies, blame it on Mary.
I'll be me.
Louise.
What brownies?
Blatt looks at me and one of the most panic expressions in the history of mankind just shakes his head and mouths the word no.
Oh, no.
Then mom
The
says,
brownies that were on your bed yesterday. I really wish you kids wouldn't leave food in your rooms.
Blatt and I decided to make our escape. On our way out, Blatt told me about the brownies he had left, and I told him I hadn't been home for 2 days. I then told him he had to tell Dad what had happened. Our father, who thought he was probably dying, had simply gotten high for the first time in his life.
Oh, I mean, but what a relief.
What a
though.
relief.
It was
That's a
like,
huge
Dad,
relief.
you ate the brownies. Everything's going to be okay.
Oh, my God. Then you
Black
might just
conf-
fuck with him a little bit. Nah.
Yeah.
Oh, what,
I
he
mean, he's
thinks
already
on
in the
his
hospital.
deathbed?
You might as well
Yeah.
just goof him up a bit.
Great
You are
time to
dying.
fuck with him.
Yeah.
You are dying.
We found something.
Yeah.
What if they discovered a tumor with all of the testing that they did and he,
And saved his life.
yeah, maybe.
Oh my God. And
That
he's
would be fucking amazing.
Now that's the story.
That's the star.
Anyway, back to this boring old story. Blatt confessed to my mother that night. Dad was released from the hospital the next day after Mom explained the situation to our very understanding and quite amused family doctor. Doc just put it down as food poisoning, which, for insurance purposes.
It
like
literally was.
I like these doctors just being pretty chill about
Yeah,
this.
doctors
Yeah.
being bros.
They're
Doctors
fucking
being
bros, man. Mom told Blatt he was going to have to tell Dad the real reason for his ailment. Blatt packed his stuff, convinced he would be asked to leave the house after the conversation. Although he wasn't kicked out, things were a bit tense for a while, and eventually Blatt moved in with Blobbin, as we all expected.
Yeah, the true love story.
Yeah. Oh, Blatt and Blobbin forever. It was several years before we had brownies in the house again.
Oh, there's PTSD.
Oh, no. Brownie
Years
trauma.
later, on Dad's 75th birthday, I gave him a box of hemp brownie mix from the natural food store, and he laughed along with everyone else. Time maybe doesn't heal all wounds, but it sure made getting accidentally high something to chuckle about.
I love
Really
that the
high.
mom sends the kids home, pulls the doctor aside, and tells the doctor, and no one tells the dad until a day or two
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
You're all
The
better.
poor man who 5 minutes ago thought he was on his deathbed.
All he
you couldn't
needed
just tell him,
was-
babe, it's okay, you're just high.
All he needed was a tombstone pizza and some ice
Yeah.
water.
Truly, and maybe a walk around the block.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
are the top 3 things to do. Get your body moving a little bit. Eat some fucking food.
Touch
drink
some
water,
grass, man.
Touch grass.
Put
go
your
to
bare
bed.
feet in the grass, go to bed.
If you're capable of going outside.
Sure.
Don't push it.
Totally fair. Walk around in your house, in your apartment, in your bedroom, whatever. Just move. Do some yoga. Move your body.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the weed spins when you're that high and he ate 2 fucking brownies.
Oh,
Yeah.
nightmare.
If I bent over to get a soda, I'd probably pass out too.
Yeah.
And then the people in the store have no fucking clue what's going on. Everyone did the right thing except these idiot kids.
Also, he was going for chocolate milk. He's already got pasty mouth, and then he's going to pour some chocolate milk on there?
He wanted a sweet treat.
I guess
Chocolate
so.
milk has some, glucose and protein.
That's
It's supposed to be a good post-workout drink.
That's what
Not
they
that I would
say.
ever
So is
fucking
pickle
know that.
juice.
Oh, Yum.
That's what
Also
the
you.
Russians, I met some Russians in Thailand once, and I was like, what do you guys eat late night? And they were like, pickle juice.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, it's really
You
dark
eat
over there.
Pickle juice?
They were like, because I was like, in Canada, we have poutine. That's like our late night after drunk treat. And they're like, what's your like late night drunk treat? And they're like, we just drink pickle juice, go to bed.
That's
I was
really
like,
depressing. Well, it might help with your like hangover though, because it does.
Probably.
It has something to do with like the
brine.
the lactose in your muscles. It affects that, and that has
It's probably
something to
full
do
of,
with
like,
hydration.
electrolytes and shit too.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Who knew? Me.
Well done, Matt. That was some glorious Coven Confession reading.
Good job,
We're
Matt.
we're very
Thank
proud
you.
of you.
Thank
And
you.
I can see how you won that Emmy for your performance as the corpse.
Yes.
And an Oscar. I think, Matt, little known fact, EGOT.
Yes. I'm making a musical of the dead body I played. Everyone just sings around me. I just lay there.
Yep.
Did you know that Matt was in Wicked?
I'm currently in Wicked.
Oh my God, that would be fucking amazing. And I would just absolutely melt into 1,000
You're just like a
pieces.
stunning ballet dancer. We had no idea.
I am in a musical right now, actually.
What one?
Well, it's in LA, but it's coming to New York in the spring off Broadway. It's a Fast and the Furious musical.
Oh, Amanda just came.
No,
loves F&F.
that is the greatest franchise ever fucking made. You're going
Yeah.
to send me those dates. 'cause
My
if you
buddies
think
wrote a musical, and I play a bunch of characters in it, and we're going off Broadway in the spring. So.
We have a Fast and Furious episode if you're interested.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
No,
would love
but
to.
legitimately, let us know what those run dates are because we are trying to book some shows in New York
Yeah.
in the spring. So if we could align that so we could come see your show,
We'd love
we
it.
would fucking love to
Yeah,
do that.
that'd be
It's a
fun.
real fun time.
I
Yeah.
would lose my ever-loving shit to see a Fast and Furious musical.
What's
And
it
all
called?
that. It's called Fast and the Furious, the parody musical. For legal reasons, we had to say that. Universal tried to sue us. They almost sued us.
Good
and then
job.
they came to one of the shows and they got hammered. And then they wouldn't.
And they were like, "Oh, this is
We talked to
fine."
them after, and they were like, "We're not going to sue you. That was hilarious." And we're like, "Okay,
What a review! Okay,
Yeah.
that should be on the playbill.
Yeah.
As
We're
like
not gonna
the
sue
review
you.
quote.
That was
This is
hilarious.
hilarious. Universal Studio executives.
yeah." So far, so good.
I'll give you that idea for free. You can
Yeah.
run that up the ladder, and then when I come to the show, I better see it on the fucking playbill.
Oh, yeah.
or we're gonna have words. Wow, that's very exciting. The episode can only go downhill from here, because that's the most amazing fucking thing I've ever heard.
Okay, welcome back. This is the Coroner Corner.
My least favorite place.
The Coroner Corner.
Cornfest.
The AI, the corn cob.
I will never be okay. I really wanted that to be
Matt's
real.
like, I hate to rain on your parade, but that man has 11 fingers on one hand.
Yeah, I have to. As a person in the entertainment industry, I can't sit by and say
No,
AI
I'm
is real.
glad. I'm grateful. I'm glad.
We need to have.
And I'm also devastated.
But here's the problem: is when stuff like that comes out, yeah, people are like, "Oh no, you're just the poo poo party." When you're
Yeah.
just like, "No, that's AI," and then the other person they're not happy that you pointed
No,
it
we
out. They're just
fucking
like,
need
"Oh."
media literacy.
That's always a
because
bummer.
Yeah,
But-
it's
We
a
need
bummer. You're a bummer.
I don't want to go from the Cornfest AI to sharing like weird AI Jesus memes on Facebook pipeline. I don't, and
Yeah.
you helped interfere
A
with making
muscular
sure.
Trump.
Yeah, the like fucking Superman Elon Musk photos. I fucking can't.
Oh my God. No, I want to print out that corn AI photo, and it's so disturbing.
It's very
I'm
disturbing.
frame
It's kind of body horror. The way his mouth is like he unhinged his jaw.
It's body horror. I was in love with it. I'm so sad.
Okay,
I feel like my dad died all over again.
no, he's still dead. He's in a jar right behind you. Don't worry.
He's upstairs.
Oh, okay.
And he's in a gnome.
Jessica's
Oh, is
right
he?
there. I got Jessica behind me.
Jessica's upstairs too.
Cute.
Wait, your dad's
I need
ashes
to
are
know
in a
more
gnome?
dead people.
Yeah, my mom had this gnome or got this gnome urn because after my dad died, we had seen some viral news story about a woman who lost her husband and then she got him put into this gnome and then would like take him on adventures with her.
Oh my God, I love that.
And like
Oh my God.
take selfies and like sweet.
Yeah.
We gotta
the
get dad a
gnome.
gnome. So then like a lot of really awkward conversations with like Etsy pottery makers on
Could
the
a human
internet
body
later.
fit in this?
We got a gnome.
He
and
was
so he's
5'8", about 200.
Yep. So, but mom has parts of him, ash parts, not just like
Okay.
pieces, not just like chunks. My sister has some. I have the gnome and a mini one, and mom has an urn at home too.
Oh, that's nice.
My dad is everywhere except his final resting place.
Yeah.
The poor bastard. Oops. He's
Does
fine.
he have a plot?
He has a plot because my grandma Helen, which was my dad's mom, and she lived to be 103 years old and
Jesus.
was the most incredible woman ever. But she had bought a plot when my grandpa died and just like let us know that there were spots for my mom and dad there.
There was a
And we were like,
BOGO.
yeah, there's a BOFO, toe fo, buy two get two free. I don't know. I'm losing my mind. So. Yeah, it's a beautiful spot, but like my grandma had the stone made when my grandpa died and then put like his birth and death date and name and whatever on it and then put her own name on it with her birth date and then just like an open-ended death date, which always creeps me out.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
like,
It's
I
coming.
get plan ahead, salt your dead, but like that's very macabre. I don't know how I feel about that. But
I like
we
it.
definitely still have not, we haven't put my dad's name on there yet. I don't think we've even buried his ashes there yet.
Maybe you can like resell it if there's nothing even there.
No, my grandma and grandpa are there.
Oh, right.
Well, if somebody else wants to join in.
Where
and,
your
like-
dad was
Toss
going to
him
go. You know.
Yeah, we'll sell the real estate.
Yeah.
Anyway, weird. What are
Land
we
is
doing?
land. Actually, we will get to the land. This
Oh shit. Okay.
because this first story is so fucking random.
Okay.
So I want to thank Elizabeth for sending this. I think that Elizabeth, someone must have been doing some genealogy research.
Okay, this Elizabeth person.
Yes, because what I'm about to share with you was obviously just typed up by like a layman, and it's from like, you know, like, let's see, familytreedna.com.
Okay.
So
I love the source.
mhm. Okay, so this is the background of the last name Ormsby.
Does anyone here know an Ormsby? Because I know an Ormsby, I think.
Never met an Ormsby. Ormsby.
Never met one I like anyway.
There we go.
Okay.
Take that, Ormsby.
I'm like second guessing myself, but I'm really Yep. My friend, I'm not gonna say their first name or their gender.
But we know
Is
their
an
last
Ormsby.
name. Okay, well, this will be a really fun little fact to tell your friend when I tell you about it.
Okay.
So the name Ormsby came originally from the Scots word orm, meaning elm tree,
Okay.
or as applied to a person would mean one who comes from a place by or near an elm tree. So that's
Okay.
the B means place, hence the names Ormsby with various spellings comes from one who comes from a place with a fucking elm tree. Okay.
Who just fell out of an elm tree.
You know, you are all
The
that
worst
has
at
come
remembering
before
that.
you.
I'm the worst at remembering that exact quote, but I like think about it and bring it up all the
You
time and
exist.
then never get it right.
In the
I
the
love it.
context of everything that came before you.
Listen, she's right.
This is all time. Okay, so speaking of came before us, around the year 750 AD, a man who was named Orm of the Scandinavian Peninsula,
Love
that was
it.
his name, joined a group of sailors under the leadership of a Viking sea king bent on plundering the coast of Scotland and capturing land for Viking settlements. Are we following?
Yeah.
Yes.
Orm was a Viking who was born in the early part of the 8th century in what is now known as Sweden. He was noted for his tremendous skill in battle and also his great strength. However, it seems that in battle, he was apt to become subject to strange fits of berserk rage
Ooh.
and frequently flung down his weapon and would rush unarmed to meet his adversary. And later, as we will see, this led to his downfall. So he was a fucking brutal. Wasn't there a group of Vikings called the Berserkers? And they
Probably
did a bunch of drugs so that they would just go fucking ham on the battlefield.
Sure.
I mean, this is basically describing exactly the type of character that I used to play in World of Warcraft. I like to aggro the fuck out of every dungeon, fly in there, Leroy Jenkins, and just see what happens.
Well,
So I'm kind of living. For this.
you're Orm.
I'm
are Orm.
fucking
Orm is
Orm.
Amanda coded. Amanda is Orm coded.
I'm Orm coded.
So there are many stories told about Orm, some of which have some foundation of truth. It is said that he used to wield a sword with one hand that any other man would have difficulty wielding with two hands. So he's
Okay.
very strong, very tall,
Good wrists.
great wrists. It was also said on one occasion that he crushed the skull of a large bear.
But it was actually just a guy in a bear costume trying
Probably.
to Mercedes.
The bear was wearing a doctor's coat.
It was really weird. The bear had elbows, like very human elbows and knees.
He was groaning and moaning the whole time.
He asked if I had progressive.
Yeah.
So basically, there was a legend that he punched a bear in the head and killed it.
Wow.
It was Orm's boast that he could wrestle and defeat any two strong men of his day. When he joined the Viking Sea King, who was going to the Scottish coast, he and a handful of men under his leadership in their Viking longboat were welcomed as an addition to the party. At that time, Orm was in his prime and must have been about 30 years old. As they neared
right.
the coast of Scotland, the Scots came out in their own ships and engaged them in battle. The Vikings, fearful that the Scots were too strong to overpower and wishing to spur his men to greater effort, called them together and promised that he would grant the rulership of the captured territory, so Scotland, to the first man who put his foot on Scottish soil.
It's the first ever episode of Amazing Race.
Yeah. It reminded me of Traders,
Oh, kind of.
like the boats.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the battle with the Scots was fought about a mile from the coast of Scotland, and as the Scottish ships drew closer, the Vikings swarmed on board. They are engaging in battle. Although outnumbered 3-1 by the Scots, the Vikings were able to defeat them.
Damn.
When Orm's ship came alongside one of the Scottish ships, Orm was the first to jump over. And it was said that with one blow of his mighty sword, he killed the 3 leading Scots. And laying about, he had accounted for about 6 of the Scots when he was overcome by one of his uncontrollable fits of berserk rage.
He berserked too close to the sun.
Well, don't worry, he's fine. Flinging aside his sword, because he's like, fuck this, I don't need a sword.
I punched a bear to death.
Yeah.
I can do this.
He rushed at his nearest foe and, lifting him high in the air, he smote his head on the side of the ship, bashing out his brains.
You would love this article.
I know. But in doing so, he neglected his other foe, so he took his eyes off of the other guy, and as he turned to defend himself, the broad axe of a Scottish chieftain severed his leg just above the knee.
Ouch.
So dude got his fucking leg cut off. Notwithstanding this, literally not. I mean,
It's just a flesh wound.
Not standing at all.
Yeah. Orm appears to have encircled the Scottish chief in his arms and crushed him to death.
He hugged him to
He
death.
hugged him
Wow.
to death.
Should have chopped off my arm, idiot.
Yeah, he would have legged him to death if he had.
That's true.
Evidently, this incident marked the end of the battle, and Orm appears to have killed, with the aid of his crew, the entire crew of the Scottish chieftain's boat, which had outnumbered them 3-1.
And he survived having his leg cut off.
Yep, because with the crude surgery that the Vikings had, they succeeded in bandaging Orm's leg, and as the night was drawing near, they spent it about 1 mile off the coast of Scotland. There's a lot of repetition
Wow, so they
here.
stopped the wow.
The next morning, Orm, despite his fucking injury, insisted on taking leadership of his crew. So he's like, all right, I'm in charge now. We're going to get the fuck out of here.
Stool, but I can do this.
One of you carve me a peg while I steer our ship to Scotland. I just made that up.
Oh, I was like, is this the origin fable of the peg leg?
It's so much better.
Oh, God. Okay.
Okay. And as the Viking ship neared the coast, Orm picked up his severed leg
kept it.
and chucked it onto the shore so that his was the first foot to set foot into Scotland
Perfect.
and
Petty.
successfully claimed the reward.
Orm is a petty bitch, and I love
This is how
her.
competitive Scottish people are.
I need
This is a Viking.
I need you to go to the drive and look at the Ormsby family crest because at the top you will notice a severed leg.
Oh my God. There it is.
This is immaculate.
Isn't this incredible?
Jesus.
Just plunched. It's even red. It's even got
Yeah.
Yeah.
bloody stump.
Little foot, though.
It's
tiny
like a
little foot.
tiny little foot.
Tiny little foot. They could have been more forgiving there.
Yeah.
But thick thighs. Thick thighs save lives, babe.
No wonder
Yeah.
Orm was going berserk. He had a tiny little weenie.
No, we don't believe in that correlation.
I don't know. I think he was like 7 feet tall and he was in love with his like high school sweetheart. So he like built a house in Scotland, went back to Sweden, picked up his girlfriend, and then they moved to Scotland. They had 7 kids together. They had a very beautiful life.
Wow. Huh.
Listen,
Yeah.
Right.
you
could be a
know
Viking.
Orm was hanging dong. There's no way.
Orm was
There's no way.
stacked.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you,
Oh.
Elizabeth, for that.
Yep.
Just so random, but I was like, we don't have a lot of Viking content, so
No. That was fascinating. I'm definitely sending that to my friend.
yeah. Okay, so this is from a listener who I will not name because I think we should stay away from identifying details.
Fair.
But this person wrote in, "Hi, ladies. The story of the woman killed in a walk-in oven at Walmart from just the last episode of
Last
Gag.
act,
Matt, are
yeah.
you familiar with this news story?
I did read that. Yes. What a
There's
nightmare.
also a story right now of the guy who was found dead in the Planet Fitness tanning bed.
What? I didn't hear about
Wow.
that.
Yeah, hold on.
Was he
Let me
burnt
just-
up?
Cooked up like a Christmas goose.
No, I don't believe so. I mean,
Golden brown.
as these things tend to be, I think it was much sadder than this. I don't know what the update is because I haven't looked too much into it, but they suspected it was like an unhoused person who was using the membership to be able to shower and stuff may have like just fallen asleep in there.
There was
And it
It was
also
killed
already
him?
unwell.
There was also
no,
like a
I think
Christmas
he just happened to
market.
die in there.
Oh.
There was like a Christmas market here in LA recently, and like they're like, oh, there was a dead body discovered above it. So like everyone was like having fun Christmas
What
market.
does that mean? What's above it? In
I
the
don't, like-
Costco ceiling?
Maybe I don't know. I can't
Yeah, but
find it.
somebody found
Above
like
it.
he wasn't he was in there for days without being found.
Woof.
Well, Planet Fitnesses don't smell that great either. So,
No.
Yeah, so I think someone went to like use the tanning bed and found.
whoa.
Yowza.
When I used to go to Planet Fitness a really long time ago,
Mhm.
the tanning beds were like stand-up beds.
Yeah.
Maybe that was implemented after.
This was a lay down one, but yeah.
So the dead
this-
bodies would roll out.
A more
They just
recent
collapse
article.
when they die.
The mother of the guy that was found dead came forward and said like she essentially would not be surprised if toxicology came back with like fentanyl or something else in his system. And a syringe was found in the room with him.
Oh,
so
that's too bad.
it's really, really sad. It's so sad. But like this shit, it's like the Walmart walk-in cooler, and then not long after this tanning bed thing, it's like really freaking me out.
Mhm. The Walmart thing was in Nova Scotia, I think, or British Columbia. Same thing.
Somewhere in Canada, yeah.
Somewhere.
Y'all
Canada.
Canadians are
We're weird, man.
Okay, so this person, the story of the woman killed in a walk-in oven at Walmart reminded me of a somewhat similar incident that took place at my local grocery store here in Utah back in 2016.
no.
I will read to you this news article. So this is from early February of 2016. A 45-year-old grocery store employee in Utah died after she was dragged into an industrial-sized baking mixing machine.
No.
Investigators are still trying to determine how Carmen Jackie Linhart was pulled into the mixer in the Salt Lake City suburb of Sandy on Wednesday morning. Linhart was using the appliance in the bakery department of a Reams food store when she became caught on a moving part that rotates to combine the ingredients.
Oh,
So she
my
literally
God.
got sucked into the mixer.
Oh my God.
A coworker heard her scream and ran over and quickly shut off the mixer, but it was too late.
Oh my God.
Linhart of Murray, Utah, was pronounced dead at the scene at the Highland Drive branch of the Utah-based grocery chain. An autopsy was scheduled. So the detective said, quote, "It was possibly some loose clothing, or she might have reached into the machine for an unknown reason and gotten caught. We're trying to determine the exact cause at this point."
Mm-hmm.
A sign at the store's bakery said it was temporarily closed.
No, you're done.
I would hope.
I'm sorry, but you're done. It's
Funny you
over
should
for
say
you,
that,
Reeves.
Matt, because this person's email, the listener's email, goes on to say, "My brother's friend was working as a cashier at the time and said that everyone in the store could hear her blood-curdling screams, and several staff members saw her in the mixer when they ran to go help her."
Oh my God. If all of these people were not compensated and provided with like therapy,
Bitch,
then fuck you, Reems.
oh, listen to this. Instead of closing the store,
No.
the owners told the staff to get back to work
Oh
and
my
left
God.
the rest of the store open for the whole day.
Oh, wow.
They only closed the bakery.
Fuck you,
Yeah.
Reems. That is
That's crazy.
depraved capitalistic
Yes.
bullshit.
So they said, "Can you imagine you just heard and or saw a coworker and friend get brutally killed and your boss tells you to go back to work like nothing happened? They put up plastic sheets over the bakery to block the view while the store was open. So the bloody scene was left like that all day until a hazmat crew came in after closing to clean it up."
Oh, wow. Oh,
I'm
wow.
gonna fucking borf. This is awful. Awful.
They said, "I still think about it every time I drive by because the store is
So it's still open?
that store is still open."
Wow.
Okay. They said, "I
Boo.
believe they eventually determined that the mixer was not up to OSHA standards because it had no cage around the top of the mixer to
That's why
prevent
they
this
do
from fucking
that.
happening."
Mm-hmm.
They think,
Because yeah, a loose sleeve or like if you lean over to put in ingredients and like a piece of your apron gets caught in that thing. I follow like some cookie, like industrial cookie making accounts because I have autism and ADHD. And so I've seen these mixers are massive and they are fucking powerful. I mean, they can
And-
dump so much stuff that gets broken up and put into the, so it's like not going to stop.
well, think about how quickly those mixers go. That was a slow process. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
"Brrr, you're dead."
No, it's not like an egg beater.
Mm-mm.
Like it's big and it moves,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's not whipping.
Yep.
It's mixing.
It's a good ad
Oh,
for those
fuck.
mixers, though. It's a great ad for that mixer.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, yeah, we can
I think
mix
it's
it all.
what is it? A ninja bullet?
Can mix it all.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like a
my
garbage
God.
disposal. Or like that
No.
lady who got sucked into that tiny little hole because of all the pressure.
That
Oh,
story
yeah.
fucking haunts me.
Mm.
That story fucking haunts me. No.
Yep.
Basically turned her inside out.
Well,
I will say, too, I used to work at an Apple store in Toronto, and someone in the mall committed suicide by jumping off of a like a 5-story like stairwell,
yeah.
like in front of the store, basically. And the whole mall was still open that day. Like one of the employees saw it happen.
Yeah.
They got sent home, but then the rest of us were like staring at the scene the whole day, being like,
I mean,
"So, do you want to
that's
see the new
legit.
iPhone?"
Do they just
There
block
was
it off?
Yeah, they just blocked it off, and then everyone in the mall was like, "What's happening here? Are they doing like renovations?"
Did you
and we're like,
tell
"Yeah."
everything? I would have been like, some guy.
They
Sang
told us
like a
not to
canary.
at the time. They were like, "Don't talk
I would have
about it or
fucking
whatever."
sang.
So I'm like,
If the
"I
mall's
know."
not going to close, I'm telling everyone.
Every
yeah.
customer.
Everyone.
Well, the Mall of America fucking did that when a few years ago, a little boy, like a 4-year-old boy, was picked up by a stranger and thrown over
threw the little boy over
of like the second or third floor. He survived, thank God, but was severely injured. But the mall
kept going.
I mean, I think they locked down temporarily to apprehend the person who did it, but it was like that the stores opened back up.
This world's a nightmare, man.
It's wild.
This is yeah.
Oh, we are in the bad place.
Yeah.
We're in the upside down.
Oh God. Hated that. Okay.
All right.
Well,
I have a short obituary for us, and it'll make you feel a little better. We're gonna end on a good note.
Oh, it will. Okay.
Okay. So this obit was sent in from Cheryl from Australia. This is an Australian obit. Okay. So this obit is for Jennifer Ann Kelly. Farewell, Jenny Kelly. Born May 15th, 1936. Our wild and wayward mother died on October 28th, 2024. She refused to say passed. She died.
Good for her.
We spend most of our lives compensating for our upbringing, said Jenny. She believed that exposing youth to religion was a form of child abuse.
Hell yeah, Jenny.
Tell
him. Fucking tell him, Jenny.
It was impossible to watch the news in her presence due to her vocal outrage at the way the country is run.
Preach.
She held John Howard in particular contempt. And Cheryl from Australia did write in her email, by the way, John Howard is like a really conservative, a conservative politician. Mum grew great dope, never wanted to leave a party, and gave up champagne or gin frequently, but never simultaneously. Her rare attempts at responsible parenting or grandparenting were always touching. She said Sean was a much better driver than Chris. Those are her two kids.
I love it.
News on what's next to follow. Bring a shovel.
Oh my God. Get digging.
Isn't that cute?
That's fun.
I love that obit.
I want my obit to end with bring a shovel.
Bring a shovel.
I'm telling you right now, I am writing my own obit and leaving it because I don't trust any of y'all.
Yeah, we all should do that. That's true.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That would actually be a really fun dinner party game where you like co-write, like you write each other's obits.
That's
That's
nice.
fun. Yeah, we're having a couple over for Christmas this year. Maybe we'll do that. Merry Christmas.
I think you should try it.
How are we
I
gonna
think
die?
That would be super fun. Yeah.
Up next, what's the worst thing you've ever done?
Yeah.
We have some games tonight. Wow. Well done, Lucy.
Thank you. Well done, all of us. And
Well done, Matt.
Thank you so much, Matt O'Brien, for joining us. Please tell the people where they can find you, what you got going on besides a fucking Fast and Furious musical parody.
Yeah, dates to be announced on that. But follow me on Instagram. It's just Matt O'Brien, just my name, because I signed up for Instagram on day one. And I need followers on that so that my comedy career can stay afloat. I post my show listings in my bio. I've got a link tree in my bio if you want to come see me live. I'm doing shows all around LA, but then I'm also touring around Canada and the States. And also I'm doing like cruise ships this year too. So if you're
listen to our cruise ship disappearances episode.
That's 2
and then
episodes
can't
you got to
wait.
listen to. Don't
Then
trust
maybe
the
back
cruise
out.
ship.
If you're going to be on a Royal Caribbean cruise in any time this year, you might see me. If you hear some guy yelling about Costco from the Comedy Theater, that's me.
Okay, well, we won't be on that,
Yes.
but we're really happy for you. That's exciting.
Do you know
That's
they
fucking
have to have morgues on cruise ships?
Oh, no doubt, for sure.
Old people. Murder.
Yeah, my friend's grandma knew she was dying and planned a cruise with her and her family to die on and died on the cruise.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Wow. I hope someone dies in one of
badass.
my comedy shows. That would be the
I
best
do
review.
too. I want this for you.
Yeah, that'd be
That'll
nice.
launch your career big time. It's fine. You've already made it. You're on Wine and Crime. This is
There
the
we
biggest,
go.
like Conan who.
This is, I don't know.
This is your
This
peak.
is great. This is
is your
it.
peak.
You're,
It's all
you're
downhill from
cresting
here.
right now.
I'm going to go watch your fake documentary. I want to see you as a dead body.
Yeah.
I actually haven't even watched it, so maybe I should watch it soon, actually.
Let's
But
all watch it.
yeah.
Population Zero.
That's the
love
one.
Thank you so much, Matt O'Brien, for joining us today. And thank you for listening to our bullshit. And again, if you have a Coven confession or a funny obit or a funny headline, go to our Contact Us page on our website, wineandcrimepodcast.com. Use the little drop down. Send us an email.
Plop it there.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in 2025.
Hooray.
Bye-bye.